so funny, TSM?
Yeah. Tune in with April Showers on YouTube. Talk about it, be about it. Tune in with April Showers. Hit that like, that share, subscribe. Then let's make Miss April ours. Talk about it, be about it. Tune in with April Showers. Hit that like, that share, subscribe. Then let's make Miss April ours. Talk about it, be about it. Tune in with April Showers. Hit that like, that share, subscribe. Then let's make Miss April ours. Talk about it. Be about it. Tune in with April Showers. Hit that like, that share, subscribe. And let's make Miss April ours. You know that she in the better thing. She do a little bit of everything. You know that she in the better thing. She do a little bit of everything. Do a little bit of everything.
Hey, Big Tim, my brother. How is everyone doing this fine Thursday night? I wanted to do a show this evening, and I was waiting on the music battle. It hasn't started yet. So I wanted to just jump in with a few things. Yesterday, we received notice that Debowski had been found unresponsive. So, my prayer and my heart goes out. I don't know what the situation is. I just pray that all is well and will be well with him. And again, get better, get well, Debowski. So whatever you're going through, know that I am praying for you. Now, who is this Jared Banks in the chat? Hello. It's nice to meet you. So hold on for one moment. Okay, I am back. And I would like to thank everyone that's in the chat. Again, I want to say I don't know what the situation is, but my prayers go out to Debowski. That's it. That's all. I need people to realize I am not going to hate anybody. The good Lord has spared my life 2 times from cancer. And there is no way I am going to walk around and hate anybody. Now, what I wanted to talk about was this Black Lives Matter Kanye West situation. Black Lives Matter should be made a mockery. Black Lives Matter should be talked about. Black Lives Matter should be dismantled. Black Lives Matter did nothing, nothing for black people but gave them crumbs while they stole millions. They bought homes. They gave to the alphabet community where people such as Trayvon Martin's mother nor the father received anything. Hold on for a moment, everybody. And so, yeah, we all need to mock Black Lives Matter. Yeah, we really do. We really do. So, for Kanye to have that jacket on with White Lives Matter, and it was actually to mock Black lives, you go, boy. You go, boy. Hold on. Hey, L. Nixon, the voice of reasoning. I turned 60 years old August 13th, and I've had to face some facts. One of them facts is, as black people, the black race, we are never going to come together. Hey, Miss Together,
Hey, y'all forgive me for the
how are
noise.
you?
It's hot here. I'm talking about it's hot in California.
So I was just going on opening up, giving my thoughts on this Black Lives Matter, and I was saying Black Lives Matter should be mocked and talked about. What Kanye West did was get attention with wearing the White Lives Matter, mocking Black Lives Matter.
Right.
So I don't have a problem with them mocking
I
Black
don't
Lives
either.
Matter.
I don't either because if you pay attention, like in the beginning, like Patrice Collier's the one that I guess she was the one that started the Black Lives Matter Foundation. So what happened was she used the people that passed away. She used those tragic situations as a way to gain financial, resources. And so what happened was I read a little bit of it, but people like Trayvon Martin's mom, the black guy that was killed in front of the liquor store that had the cigarettes, just Michael
Mm-hmm.
Brown, a bunch of those people, Breonna Taylor. What they did was they used those people names in order to get money and pull on the heartstrings of people. And see, what happens is everybody knows that a lot of black people, we are very sympathetic and emotional and forgiving people, and so they know this about us. So they tend to do things to use us as a community as a whole. But you did have other nationalities that were also donating to the cause, and she took that money. And so Candace Owens went to what she thought was the corporate building, and it ended up being one of the living quarters of Patrice Collier's and her family. And so Candace Owens went there, and the guard never let her in. She never threatened anything. All she said was that she wanted to talk to her and ask her, where's the money? Because Trayvon Martin family got pennies and crumbs. And so this is why everything started going crazy, because she wasn't doing what she said. You know, she gave almost $1 million to her baby's dad. She gave 600 something $1,000 to her allegedly convicted criminal brother who never had experience, so that he can open up a security system. She gave 20 plus $1 million to the alphabet community, and the rest of the money is in other properties and offshore bank accounts. So this is why it's such everybody is making fun of Black Lives Matter, because it's like they tried to call themselves representing us. Every time we get someone as a black culture, they already want to come down on us for any type of reason. As soon as somebody black do something, they highlight it and blow it up in the sky like a missile. But if a person of Caucasian descent does something, they talk about it and they let it go unless it's super bad. But Black Lives Matter really put a damper and a stain on the black movement that was supposed to take place. So Kanye West and Candace Owens did it as a mockery, to say, I'm gonna pluck y'all nerves, I'm gonna put these shirts on, and we're gonna get a reaction out of them. Watch, they're gonna start crying about it, and then they're gonna start talking about, well, all these black people died at the hands of police. That is 100% true. Black people have died unjustly at the hands of police. However, when we start caring about us as a whole, that's running around here shooting and taking each other's lives, then we can start really talking about Black Lives Matter. Until then, situation last night, a young black man here in California had a nice car he worked for, and he was at the gas station, putting gas in his car. And everybody, our gas is almost $7, close to $8 a gallon out here. So he was putting gas in his car, and these young black guys drove and followed him into the gas station, and he ran, and you can see one of the gentlemen with a gun in their hand behind him, and he was smart enough to give up the keys without being shot. So until we can get control of black on black crime, then how can we holler Black Lives Matter? And I understand the severity of police doing what they're doing, but we're doing far worse to ourselves than what the police are doing to us. So that's my take on it, and you may not agree, and I respect that if you don't agree. But I think they did it just to piss everybody off and to bring awareness to, a mockery of what Black Lives Matters was supposed to be, but did not turn out to be.
Well, I want people to know Kanye West gave over, hold on, let's see, I come with facts. His donation of $2 million to the families of George Floyd, Arbery, and Breonna Taylor at the height of the Black Lives Matter moment. West also provided financial support to the family of Jamel Robinson, a black security guard who was fatally shot by police in 2018.
Right.
This is what Kanye said. He said, everyone knows that Black Lives Matter was a scam. Now it's over. You're welcome. What the hell does everybody got their panties in a bunch about? Or their briefs in a bunch?
Right.
What is everyone so mad about? It's the truth.
It is the
The
truth.
organization served no purpose for Black people that had suffered tragedy.
Right.
It served no purpose. They stole most of the money.
Mm-hmm.
They're living in big, fine, fancy houses. Again, everyone knows that Black Lives Matter was a scam. Now it's over.
Right.
You're welcome.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It was a big scam, and she has no intentions. And I don't see anywhere they spoke on it, but I don't see anywhere when I follow up to see where she actually is demanded to pay that money back. When you have money on offshore accounts, a lot of places, America does not have jurisdictions over those banks. So you cannot force her to give up something that's over there in another country. They can expedite her to come back, but I don't know if if that bank is gaining something from her deposit. I don't think they're going to want to lose that interest. So that's what I'm saying. We have to be careful who we choose as leadership. Like, and I'm not trying to be hateful. I read an article and I heard a girl's testimony. Like, we're supposed to have like the Al Sharptons, the what's his name, Jesse Jacksons, and all those people. It seems like when the real leaders passed on, they just sold out and just left us for bait. And I heard that for Al Sharpton, if you want him to come out, to speak on your behalf on whatever situation it is, he charged you something in the thousands, the two-figure thousands, maybe 20, 30, 40, 60, 70, it don't matter. And then this one girl wanted to take a picture with him, and he said, I will go there. And it cost, I think, the girl something like 30 something thousand for him to show up. But if she wanted him to speak, he said that he wanted to get more money. So Al Sharpton is not for us like people think he is. Not only that, the girl that wanted to take the picture with him, he wanted to charge her like $20,000 to $30,000 just for a picture. So where are our real leaders at? We have other people that are, yeah, we got some here, but we don't want to like promote those people. We don't want to promote them. We want them to shut up and be quiet because they may not fit our agenda. And we have to forget about what our agenda is. We need to learn how to get along. We need to learn how to trust in one another. A lot of Black people that get into like various positions, they get paid off to stab us in the back, and it's been that way for years. So who do we really have?
Again, hey she, how are you? And hello, One Voice News TV. Again, why ain't everybody mad at Black Lives Matter, but you mad at Kanye?
Right. They don't want to be mad at
Breonna
Black lives.
Taylor's mother, Breonna Taylor's mother, she talked about Black Lives Matter, what a fraud they was. Lisa Simpson, the mother of Richard Rishner, Samaria Rice, the mother of Tamir Rice.
Right.
They they talked about Black Lives Matter, that they were a fraud. Why y'all mad at Kanye? See, this is what I say. We place our energy on the wrong things.
Yep. We do.
All of these, all of those people, they were they were really upset. See, cause I'ma tell you something. That old regime, girl, Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, them they done played out.
Yeah.
We need some new faces. And I'ma tell you, I don't like these new faces we got neither. I don't like the new face of Benjamin Crump. Every time you look around, he's there. He's always there. To me, it seems like we have been replaced by some new gatekeepers and bootlickers. That's just my opinion. But do you guys realize how much money Black Lives Matter received?
Tens of millions of dollars. Is there a way I can share my screen?
Yep.
Let me try and see. Don't do it yet, cause I don't know what. Hold on. I
It
don't
is
know what
coming.
I be doing.
Mr. Nixon, how are you doing? The voice of reason.
Okay, there it goes. I got it. I found this article.
Hey, Tamika Davis. See, I've been doing my research since yesterday.
Share the screen.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Okay, let me. I want to bring up something that they said. Hold on. I'm gonna read a little bit and tell me when to stop. And it says the Black Lives Matter scam, and this comes out of the Washington Examiner, and this was this year, as a matter of fact. And it says the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation did not raise a single penny for the first 6 years of its existence because it couldn't. And it says the foundation wasn't even registered with the Internal Revenue Services as a charity. But after George Floyd's passing in May of 2020, tens of millions of dollars were given to this organization from major corporations and celebrities. Excuse me, I'm getting tongue tied. And now no one even knows where all that money has gone. Even worse, there doesn't appear to be anyone in charge of the organization who can provide that information to us. So it goes on, and I'm gonna see if I can make it bigger. Hold on, there you go. So if anybody else, I just want to leave it there for a minute so you can see what they're talking about. This is a disgrace. Nobody knows who's in charge now.
You know they received $90 million.
That's a sad shame.
$90 million is a lot of money.
Yes, it is. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry. Hello, everyone. Blessings. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to thank Miss Together for joining me this afternoon on this panel. $90 million is a lot of money.
It is.
And in Newsweek, there was another reporter that did her own little opinion. And she says Kanye West is right about Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
And this was Angie Speak, the co-host of the Low Society podcast.
So, Miss April, what do you think? I'm asking you, what do you think we as a people should do to bring more attention? Because, like you said, and you said it very well, and a lot of people don't are not paying attention. You got a bunch of crybabies that if you don't agree with their narrative, they want to gang up on you and get other people to gang up on you so that you can agree with them. But I don't think that's right. What do you think should be done with this whole Black Lives Matter scam? Do you think Patrice Colliers and whoever else should be
He
in
needs to
prison?
be arrested and charged with stealing.
Okay, that's yeah. Then how will we get the money back from an overseas account?
Well, that's just it. That's awful. Hello, Deborah Mosley.
Hi,
That's
Deborah.
awful, but it's awful. We
It
have
is.
been scammed and bamboozled again by another organization that is supposed to allegedly serve the Black community, a fund that was prevented to help families whose children had been murdered by police officers.
Mm-hmm. That's sad.
There has been people been talking about Black Lives Matter forever. See, when you get just a certain group of people that's representing us,
Mm-hmm.
then it becomes a mess.
Yes.
I don't need Benjamin Crump to represent me. I don't
You
need just one certain group of people. Like nobody else matters. There are other people out here
Hi, James.
that have voices.
Yes.
They have voices that are way stronger than Ben Crump.
Well, speaking of Benjamin Crump, I want to say something for those that don't know. That young man that was a UPS truck driver, and and me and Miss April spoke on her. The lady name is Michi X. She went personally where that young man was to interview him, and during the interview, Michi asked him, "Well, did you seek out Benjamin Crump?" And he said, "Yes, I sought Benjamin Crump out because it's national news." And allegedly, quote end quote, Benjamin Crump said he did not want to take the case unless someone has passed away. Now, looking forward, I read an article today that I tried to finish it and I lost it. Someone is suing Benjamin Crump right now. I don't remember the reason why, but this man is not for anybody that has been unjustly done, unless that person is no longer here on earth. That's how he wants to deal. Those are the cases that he want to deal with. Now this new lawsuit, I don't know what it's pertaining to against him. So that's why I say, when you get those people that are high up in power, especially our black people, I don't know what happens. It's like we just lose our freaking minds. Everybody else can work together with their group of people, but us, we just lose our freaking minds for some reason, and we just get ignorant when it comes to money and power. We just get really stupid.
Now, Samaria writes, this is the mother of Tamir writes, and Lisa Simpson, the mother of Richard Rishner. Now, they released a joint statement in 2021 disowning Black Lives Matter for profiting from the spectacle of police brutality and demonstrating a lack of transparency regarding fund distribution across Black Lives Matter chapters, organizers, and communities. Tamika D. Mallory, Sean King, Benjamin Crump, Lee Merritt, Patrice Cullors, Melina Abdullah, and the other Black Lives Matter global network needs to step down, stand back, and stop monopolizing and capitalizing off our fight for justice and human rights, the statement said. They go on to say that they never hired them to be the representatives in the fight for justice for our dead loved ones.
Wow.
Murdered by the police, the activists have events in our city and have not given us anything substantial for using our loved one images and names on their flyers.
Wow.
We don't want or need y'all parading in the streets, accumulating donations, platforms, movie deals, etc. off the death of our loved ones, while the family and communities are left clueless and broken. Moreover, the co-founder of Black Lives Matter, Patrice Cullors, has stolen and lavish spending sprees. This spending has led to inquiries into the financial affairs of Black Lives Matter from several states and legal bodies, including California. So that was their statement.
Wow.
And I do remember that settlement with Breonna Taylor. And I thought that was all they got for Breonna. It was just a couple of millions of dollars.
Wow.
And I thought for every year that Breonna would have how they come up with the stats, like the
Right.
average Black woman might live to be 70 something years.
Right.
But every year that was taken from that 70 years of her reaching, the family should have gotten $1 million.
Right. Wow.
And they settled for such little money. And again, why are we mad at Kanye for
Don't forget.
mocking Black Lives Matter?
Don't forget
See, what
Candace
happened was
Owens.
Kanye West has started his own line. He started his own line of
Mhm.
clothing. Yee. So it was Fashion Week in Paris. You have seen Janet Jackson all on TikTok. Janet Jackson, she modeled for Louis Vuitton clothing, bag, accessories. Old Louis Vuitton. Hey, Ruthie. Hello, Miss Charlotte. And so they were all in Paris. And Kanye come out in the end with the white lives matter. So, you know, it's nice that we have these type of shows. And for me, I mock them. Actually, I'm gonna be honest. Actually, I was sort of mad at Kanye. I'm like, what he doing now? He's another Bootsy. Like, some of these people, they're media whores.
Right.
They whores. They always want to keep their name out there. But Kanye, I want to commend you. This was a great job to bring awareness to Black Lives Matter organization. It didn't work. It's over. They stole money. Don't get mad at Kanye. Go find out. Go write letters. Find out what happened to $90 million.
Right.
Find out why we have these victims' families that are upset with Black Lives Matter and they're calling them out.
Yep. They're ridiculous.
It's what's so sad is why 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 do we always have people that takes away from our movements? Would anybody else like to come on the panel? We're discussing Kanye West with Black Lives Matter. At first, you know, they show Kanye with the White Lives Matter, and I'm like, now what the heck Kanye into now?
You got to drop the link if you want somebody else to come up.
Okay, hold on. And you know, I called him crazy. I said, damn, is he off his meds again? But see, I guess this is one of them moments like when they say stay woke or always keep your third eye open.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't realize that there was a message within the message.
But you know
We
what?
so busy ready to point fingers
Right.
and Kanye crazy and he got Candace Owens. And I'm gonna be honest, I ain't know all the way. Candace Owens, I think, is nutty as a fruitcake. Uh, and like I said, Kanye, with some of his actions, we are always like, um, is he off his meds? But
Right.
these people are really giving us a message. Now I'm gonna mute my mic and let you talk. Give you the platform.
Y-
Okay.
Thank you. But yeah, we tend to fight things that we don't understand. At first, like when I saw him with Donald Trump, I'm like, oh my God, what is he doing? And so the media fed us this bull crap about Trump not liking black people and about Trump doing being with the KKK and all this stuff they were feeding. And so, it was like somebody had to come out and say, hey, remember when Donald Trump was like hanging out with all the hip hop artists? Everybody liked him. He won, I think he won an NAACP award. I'm not sure which one he won, and then here comes Biden lying, saying the same thing, that he won all these awards and did all this stuff. But Donald Trump only hung around the people that he grew up with and who he was associated with as he grew up. So if I'm a person and I grew up around, I'm just going to make it light. If I grew up around a bunch of pimps and prostitutes all my life. That's all I know. And so when I get older, I'm still hanging around these people until I learn better. So basically, that's what happened with Donald Trump. But I believe I may be having the dates wrong. And if I am, forgive me. I'm going to have to research it. But I believe before Biden became president, he went to the funeral and did a eulogy of the grand wizard of the KKK, and then turned around and said that that was his mentor, his idol, and he gave this man such high praise. So I was like, why are we trying to put somebody in office that is, it feels like a person that just has a hatred, for another race of people, and you're going to elect him as president, and all throughout his however many years that he's been in office, he's always said things against black people that was so heinous. He didn't want his kids to be around us because we were equivalent to animals. And then there was I believe it was a Zoom meeting that was leaked out once he became president. And he made it very clear that you black people are going to have to get along with the Hispanics no matter what. And he was literally yelling at people as though they were beneath him. And there are so many things that this man has gotten away with, and I'm still on Kanye West, but I'm trying to explain something. And so now you got all these people that are, and I explained to them about the history of the Democratic Party. Oh, that was a long time ago. I'm not going to be associated with any party that was in favor of, yes, he's smarter than most people think. Yes, yes. I don't understand his tactics either, but he's very, very smart. You are right. You are right, Charlotte. Exactly. He's very smart. People think he's dumb, but I'm gonna get away from that Biden thing and get on to something since you said that, Charlotte. There's a group out here or a place out here in California. Kanye West promised to give them certain amount of money, and I guess they didn't fulfill their end of the bargain, so they want to try to splatter his name all across the news and say that he lied about, helping and assisting, the homeless and making sure that the homeless get jobs within his corporation. But to be honest, and I want you guys to understand something, I am not prejudiced at all whatsoever I have a rainbow of people in my family. And the thing of it is when there are new funds that are presented out here in California, black people are the last ones to get it. It could be an illegal immigrant, they will get that funding before a black person will. And I believe that's probably what Kanye West probably saw. Like, wait a minute, how is it that I'm giving you funding or I'm trying to employ people and only people you're pushing forward are Latino people? So I really believe that's probably what made him take a look and say, you know what, until you get this together, I'm not going to do it. So he's not stupid at all. Kanye West lived out here in California. He got to see all types of stuff. He's traveled the world abroad. He's not a dumb man. Kanye West constantly, to be a businessman, you have to read, research, educate yourself. You have to know the different types of ethnic groups that you're going to be dealing with. You have to know all this stuff. You have to know the politics of various countries before you even put your products in these different places. So this man is very well educated. And like what Charlotte said, you know, he's very smart. And people want to think that he's stupid. He's not. And on top of that, the Kardashians, they wanted to make this man look like he lost every sense of whoever he is. They wanted to make him look like he was stupid. Look at what they're doing to Ray J. Look at what they did to Tigra. Look at all the black men that are running in their circle. They're destroying these people, and these people are too dumb. But Kanye got out in time, so he's not stupid, like you said, Charlotte. He's very smart, you know. So I commend him. I'm not mad at him for wearing that shirt. I'm not mad at Candace Owens for wearing that shirt. Candace Owens do have issues, and there are deep rooted issues that she have. But at the same time, when it comes to speaking up for black people, she will do that. She will do that. She may cape to another side, but she will speak up for black people. Kanye West will speak up for black people. They will stick their necks out. But if you don't agree with another group of people, they're going to all pile up against you and try to come against you to shut you down because you don't believe in or support their narrative. And I think that this world has it's almost like I told Miss April earlier, like you had that person back in the day that was so ridiculous that you were like, you something's wrong with you. You need to think and get your thoughts together. And so now you got more and more people that think like this person, where what they're saying really absolutely does not make sense. When you really look at it, it does not make sense. So now you got this new group of people that don't make sense at all, and they're in leadership. So the people like us that have common sense, we're like, what the hell is going on? Where all these nitwits come from? Where did they come from? You know, if you don't want to vote Democrat, then you prejudice, you're a hater. If you don't like a certain group, if you don't agree with the alphabet crew, then you're homophobic, you're this, you're that. If you don't like the way I look, then you're this, you're that. It's just like these people today are so immature. It's like immaturity is at its all-time high. It's at its all-time high. And I just don't understand how people are walking around functioning. And then they're not only that, they're tattletelling, you know, they're telling lies, and it's like they throw a rock and then they hide their hands. They don't want to be held accountable for anything that that they've done. DJ Chuck said Kanye West is very intelligent. It's just people don't always agree with thoughtful narrative. He knows how to make money and discover resources to educate people. Exactly. I wish you would come up. Miss April dropped the link. I would love to talk with you. I wish you would drop the come on up, DJ Chuck, if you don't mind, if you have time. If you can't, just put in the chat that you can't. Yeah, so Kanye West is absolutely smart, and I just don't get it. I just don't get the mindset of the people today. It's like they have just totally lost their everlasting mind, just like Mr. Chuck said, you know, in that comment. Now you'll get a bunch of people that are in their feelings, and they're gonna want to cry, and they're gonna want to say, "Oh, he's not for black people. Oh, he just want to see us fall. He don't care what happens to us." And indeed, he does care. So now you can't even speak your mind without being told that you're wrong. It's ridiculous.
Right. DJ Chuck or Charlotte, the link is dropped. You guys are more than welcome. And see, I'm gonna tell you, and this is why we're on here tonight, because I was furious when I saw all of the White Lives Matter and Kanye again, and I can come back after I do my research and read. And hold on,
We can hear you.
okay, we got DJ Chuck, who I'm adding to the chat.
Move the
Chuck, we are
comment.
so glad to have you.
Move the
And
comment,
so
Miss
I'm
April.
coming back. I'm coming back to apologize uh, to Kanye for yesterday thinking you was off your meds and not doing my research that you were trying to let us know. Like you said, Black Lives Matter is over. Now carry on. But
Remove the
DJ Chuck,
comment.
you got the floor.
Remove the comment, Miss April. I can't see his face.
Oh, okay. All right.
Not
Where
him.
he go?
You removed him. Come back up, brother. Until he comes. As Charlotte said,
Okay.
oh yeah, we got to talk about that video that Trina released, and I think it was with Saucy Santana talking about if no vote, no vucking. VUCKING.
Okay.
Come back
Let
up.
me see. Hold on. He's probably trying to come back up. But again, I'ma report this. Kanye is a young man. Okay, hold on. Here he is. Dang. What I don't know what keeps happening. I'm just waiting. We're waiting on DJ Chuck to come back.
Okay.
But again, um I feel bad. I didn't even see the message within the message.
Wow.
Ain't that something?
Yeah, I'm
I
so
had to
over.
go back. I had to go back and I'm the first our first impulse was okay, Kanye is off his meds. But again, Kanye was trying to give us a message.
Right.
And we didn't even see it. Yeah, what happened? We waiting on you to come back.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do this thing. You might have to send it to me through message.
Okay, let me give you the link through Messenger. Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay. Hey, Miss Together, keep talking. I gotta go send this link through Messenger, so I'm gonna have to leave because I'm on my phone.
Okay,
So
cool.
keep talking. You got the show.
Okay, cool. All right. So Charlotte, is that the one that I was saying about the vucking, VUCKING? If I'm not right, just let me know if that's the one. If it's something else you're talking about, let me know because I don't want to get it wrong. But it's ridiculous. The way that people are acting today, they're acting so like crazy. Like I don't know if I can say that word, but these folks are acting like they off the charts. Like they must have put something in the water, well, people just losing it. So I'm waiting for Charlotte's answer. Oh, that's it. Yeah, I saw a preview. I didn't want to see it. When I see stuff like that, I don't even want to look at it and put that stuff in my spirit, because if it's something like stupid, it stays there for a while, and I have to try to work that out. The, she too old for that, and Saucy Santana need to sit down. And I don't even see why people are still supporting this man when he literally said things that were so disrespectful about women at one of his shows, and the women that were in the front row were looking at him like, are you serious? Are you really saying this? Are you really saying this about women? You're not. I'm sorry, whoever's out there that decide they wanted to, become a transformer. No disrespect, but I can't. I just can't when you got. I don't know. I just can't. I can't. That's just my personal belief. Whatever they do, that's their business. But I can't agree with the stuff that's going on, because it's getting disrespectful at this point. We used to say that when women were feeding their children, we used to say breastfeeding. Now they're telling us that we have to say chest. I don't have a chest. I never had a chest. Well, maybe when I was an itty bitty girl, but I don't have a chest. I have breasts. All women have it. Naturally born women. I'm not talking about the ones that went out and bought some. I'm talking about that's what we have naturally. And for you to tell us we can't say those words, who are you to tell us what we can and cannot say? That doesn't make sense. Um, they tell us that we have to call ourselves birthers. No, I'm not a birther. I'm a mother. I'm a woman that gave birth to a child. So it seems like everything that is right, they're turning it to wrong, and whatever is wrong, they want it to be right. And it doesn't make sense to me, you know? And so I'm sure that, it's going to get on Kanye's nerve at some point, and he and Candace Owens is going to team up again. But there are white people as well that are being taken out by police, not just black people alone. But for us it's much more highlighted, and I think a lot of times they do that kind of stuff on purpose to see if they could trigger us. But and I'm not trying to be rude, I did some reading about George Floyd, and I don't want nobody to get mad at me. You can look it up for yourself. George Floyd was a career criminal, excuse me. He was a career criminal, and he was committing a crime, even though he absolutely did not deserve what happened to him. He absolutely did not. I don't care what nobody say. He absolutely did not deserve for any of that to take place. And the way he went out, it was really, really wrong the way it happened. However, everybody is worshiping this man. I'm not going to worship any man. I don't care. No, none of them. They did a good deed, whether they did a bad deed and became nationally recognized. I'm not worshiping any man, period. I'm not going to do it, just because everybody else is jumping on the band. When they did this Black Lives Matter thing, I said, I'm going to sit back and see what this is about. And everybody's like, what's wrong with you? They came down to me. I didn't care. I lost a lot of friends behind, the Black Lives Matter movement and the Democratic Party and other things that I don't jump on the bandwagon with. I lost a lot of people behind that, because you are allowed. It's called, the I can't remember the amendment. I don't want to get the line, but you have freedom of speech, and you have rights to like or dislike whoever it is that you want to. So where did this movement come where now you can't, if you don't agree with people, then you must be a monster? Just like what Miss April said, we have to double back and look at it from, oh my God, Kanye West wearing a White Lives Matter shirt. Oh my God, what's wrong with him? And we both have to double back and say, oh, I get it now. So nobody's ashamed to say when they're wrong. We're here to correct ourselves, especially if we speak out of pocket. Are you back, Miss April?
Yeah, I'm back. So we'll see if Chuck, yes, if he can get on. But like I said, again, this is another thing how we are controlled by the media, and we allow the media to mess with our minds.
Right.
Cause they just showed that, and people are going nuts. They done went crazy, but now people are calming down. Okay, hold on. Okay, there is DJ Chuck.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
We doing
You guys,
fine. Yeah,
how you doing, April?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. DJ Chuck is a music friend of mine that I've been knowing over 5 years. You know, he's one of those, we might not talk for months at a time, and then we'll talk just like we ain't missed a beat. So that's
Absolutely.
how, yeah, real friends do. We don't have to talk to each other every day. Well, if I don't see him for a while, I know, like, I said, dang it, okay, I ain't getting ready to mess with him. Football season done started, cause he into
No, it's
that
not.
football.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
no,
he don't like
no, it's
he
not.
don't like to be disturbed doing football, and he got that right. Don't call me doing my football. Yeah, unless. But going on,
No,
Chuck, I'm gonna mute my mic. I'm
Me
trying to
too.
find me
no,
some snacks.
Go
So
ahead and
you
talk.
going
no,
on and talk? You got the floor.
it's fine. I mean, yes, but we are friends. We've been music friends for 5 years. Actually, we actually best friends right now. So like you said, anytime she called me, we talk and laugh and talk about different things that's going on.
Right.
So what you all talking about, Kanye West?
Kanye West.
Was that the topic that you all were talking about?
Yeah, he and
Kanye West, anything you want to talk about. But we was talking about Kanye West. He had the White Lives Matter shirt that he was
Okay.
wearing, and it was really to block. It was to make a mockery out of Black Lives Matter because $90 million they done stole. They didn't do what they said they were going to do, and like what was his statement? He said Black Lives Matter.
Mhm.
It's over. Uh, it's over. I mean, the organization came. They got $90 million from us, from organizations and other people, and they're gone. There is no money. They've stolen it all. It's over.
So so let me ask you all this. So some paparazzi saw him wearing the White Lives Matter T-shirt or something.
No, they had Paris fashion in Paris. You've been seeing Janet Jackson do all kind of TikTok videos because she was like the model for Louis Vuitton this year. So they were all over in Paris. And Kanye West got his clothing line out. And it's called Yeezy. So at the end of the show, he came out with a White Lives Matter shirt. And
So
then
why
him
are
and
people, so
huh?
why are people so upset? Why are people so upset about a T-shirt?
Well, You know, I had to check myself after I did my research, and I'm like, he got that right to wear whatever T-shirt he want on it. But
Thank you. So,
he
so if
he
if I
he was mocking Black Lives Matter.
if I walked outside tomorrow morning with a Louis Farrakhan shirt on, are people going to automatically assume I'm a member of the Islam nation?
Heck yeah,
Why?
cause it's built by design, and usually when somebody wears shirts with somebody's face on them, it's like they're representing that person.
That's true.
Where you at, Miss Together? What's your opinion on that?
I didn't hear the question. I apologize.
The
Okay.
question I'm just trying to put. I didn't like. I don't actually know um what took place with Kanye West. I guess heard people talking about it. But my initial question is, why are people getting upset of him wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt?
Because that's what they want to do. They want to throw a hissy fit, and I don't see why they're throwing a
Okay.
hissy fit over just a shirt. They don't say nothing about people still run around here with Black Lives Matter shirts on, even though they scammed the hell out of everybody and nobody's saying anything. And now you say White Lives Matter. Now you want to throw a fit. So I don't see what the problem is.
Right. I definitely
It's
agree with
showing
you. I
us
mean,
being the hypocrites that we are.
I mean, in my honest opinion, all lives matter.
And that's
Whether you
very
whether
true.
you whether you black, white, Caucasian, Jamaican, at the end of the day, all lives matter. But I think because of who he is and what he stands for, he's always going to get criticized by the public.
I don't think he care. I really don't. You know, because
I
Yeah.
wouldn't. He got enough money. He ain't got to care.
yeah, because Candace
Yeah.
Owens said that, she said, I wore the shirt because that's what I wanted to do. She said, but in my own heart, I feel like all lives matter. And she said, even if you wear an all lives matter shirt, they're going to have something to say about that too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's just like me and April and everybody else that's in the chat room just listening. I mean, if we wear Our Lives Matter T-shirt, we still gonna get criticized.
I could care less.
Yeah.
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 And another interesting thing that was mentioned is that now some people that if they watch, someone like a Candace Owens or agree with Kanye West, there's a potential that your job could see you if you're clicking and saying that you like these people. They can give you problems at your job. This is how petty, people have become now. Why would you get mad at me because I choose to like somebody different from who you like? If I like rock and roll and you like jazz, I'm not going to force you to listen to my rock and roll. And hopefully you won't force me to listen to your jazz, but maybe there's a type of music that we both like in the middle. So why not meet in the middle instead of being mad at me for being different?
That's a good point. I dealt with a situation like that before on the job. That's because they found out that I supported a certain music artist. Like they started to look at me different. Like you support this person and you work with this company, but what do my outside life of me supporting somebody has to do with my job? As long as I
Right.
show up every day and do my job.
Right, exactly. It's this petty nation, this petty new group of people. You know, it seems like the people that have the common sense, they don't want to hear good old common sense. They want to hear dumb stuff that appease them, like something that just like, okay, I'm just gonna throw it in there. Like for
Okay.
years and years, we have been calling pedophiles pedophiles. Now, because it hurt the pedophile feelings, they want us to call them minor attracted adults. The hell with that. You're still a pedophile to me. Why soften it?
Yeah.
Why soften it? Because we hurt your feelings? No, you're hurting children. You're hurting
Right.
innocent people, and we're supposed to cater to your BS? Are you kidding me? Get up out of here with
Yeah.
that foolishness.
So they want to change the title of certain people if they did
Yeah,
wrong.
minor attracted adults. What the hell is that? No, I still tell my child pedophile, and I tell them exactly what it means and what it is. So you're trying to dummy down the meaning of what it means so that you can get away with what you're gonna, what you're gonna do. But it was said that there was a leader, a guy that was supposed to be a governor or something in another state. I'm not sure, but he was indeed a pedophile. And they found
Okay.
out and they would not vote for him. But I'm saying they're doing all kinds of stuff. You got to watch your kids, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, your play cousins, your god sisters, children. You got to watch all these kids because these folks are sick in the head and they don't care. The only time they care about the crime they commit is once they get caught. And once they get caught, they want to show some type of sympathy. No, you're only showing it because your butt is in trouble. And I think it's ridiculous how, these people are not trying to make them accountable for their actions. And I know this is a touchy subject. Like, we still don't like the Biden administration is totally hiding Hunter Biden's laptop, and there's some stuff on there, and President Donald Trump, he has the pictures, but they don't want you to show that stuff. They rather you shut up and be quiet and dummy it down and not say anything. And then I found out that our governor said that if Biden doesn't run, he wants to run for president. I'm telling you now, do not vote for Newsom. He legalized prostitution out here. And so that means those little girls that are caught in sex trafficking can no longer run for help. So he's doing a lot of crazy stuff that is hurting the people. And for the people that are just like, I'm going to say it, and I mean no disrespect, the ones that are retarded, he's caping to those people. How is it that you caping to people that don't make sense? How is it that you're caping to these folks when you really look at it with a person that has common sense? Even a child would say that doesn't make sense. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
So
So
don't
there's
vote
a
for
lot
him
of
if he runs for president, or we'll be in more trouble.
Um,
so there's a lot of
also,
emails and go ahead.
also a point I wanted to bring up that we bought since we were talking about Joe Biden. Now today, Joe Biden, the man that told y'all wasn't black or y'all wouldn't be shit unless, you had to vote for him. Remember that, you know, that's how brainwashed we are. We let somebody tell us that they, if you didn't vote for Biden, you wasn't black. Like, really? You know. But anyway, what happened is today he's pardoning people. He pardoned people with small marijuana charges. And I'm like, that ain't enough.
So ain't.
What about all of them people you locked up for crack cocaine to get help? Because see, when that other race of people came out with they issue, when meth hit them, Those people were able to go to treatment centers where black people, they were sent to prison. I'm going to mute my mic if anybody want to chime in on that.
Yeah. So you were saying there's like emails of stuff that people don't know that Trump knows about.
Yeah, there's stuff that Trump knows that see, we're gonna get to you, Miss April. What happened is once Joe Biden got into office, and see, I can't play the videos, but I have some videos like during the election season. They scrubbed the internet clean of it, but for some reason, I just decided to keep those videos.
Okay.
And what happened is they told everybody to leave and that the voting was over. They didn't need them anymore. So this lady was brave enough. She ran around to the front, and there's also video footage, and she recorded herself, and she took it to the people when they were fighting and saying that there was fraud in the election. And the video shows that after everybody was cleared out of the building, they pulled a bunch of black duffel bags from underneath the table and started putting those ballots in the machine. And I have
Oh
those
wow.
videos. Yes, I have those videos, and I tried to upload it, and YouTube struck it and took it down.
Okay.
But I still have it. And and the thing that nobody paid attention to, if you could go back, which I'm sure they scrubbed that as well, when Biden and Trump were going during the election, uh, Biden had a certain amount of numbers and Trump had a certain amount of numbers. Now, I want to ask you something. If 6 plus 6 is 12, I mean, 6 plus 6 is 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then that person, let's say Biden and Trump both got 6 and 6, that's 12. So then Biden gets 6 more. That makes 18, right?
Correct.
Okay, so if Biden got 18 and Trump had 6, how does Biden get 18 and Trump ends up with 4? So as Biden numbers were climbing, Trump's numbers were being subtracted. That doesn't make sense because the votes that were already in should have stayed counted. What happened?
Oh, I just muted my mic. I was listening. I agree with you. And that's why, like I said, see, remember when Hillary Clinton was saying that Trump stole the election from her. So a lot of us, because I'm going to tell you to this day, I thought it was hard to believe that people had actually voted for Trump. You know, I didn't realize he had that many people.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you know, they've got Hunter Biden on computers with 10-year-olds having sex. Joe Biden's son over in China.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing everything under the sun. But they want to pick and choose us.
Not only that, Miss April. Not only that, I don't mean to cut you off, but what's his name? Joe Biden's daughter or granddaughter, somebody stole her diary, and the diary stated that he was molesting her. The Joe Biden. And this is all alleged because I don't have it in front of me. But all of a sudden, that got scrubbed away. So I believe that people should have done their history. Not only that, there's a lady, I don't remember her name, but she was an intern for Biden at the White House. And he shoved her up against the wall. And I don't believe that this woman had ever been sexually active. And Biden rammed his fingers in her hoo-ha. And so she went to complain, and they totally like hid her papers. So they had some experts that they used, when they capture criminals, and the body experts literally sat down and they talked with her and they asked her questions, and they said that her body language was not off, not one bit, when she was talking about what happened to her. But when they were talking to Biden, they said his body language was giving guilt all day long. Oh, you remember that, Charlotte? Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, hey, Caroline, spiritual warrior. Hold on. Okay, Chuck is back again. And
You
hey,
got
Caroline. Well, see, okay, that's what I wanted to say. Uh, and there's a guy, and I'm gonna tell you something. Talking about Trump, they were YouTube don't like that neither.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can hear you.
All
Cause
right.
there's a guy, my little brother, I call him, Big Tim. And so, since he supports him and been doing stuff and talking about him, they done tried to take his channel.
Yep.
Sorry if I missed a question that you guys asked or something.
That's okay.
I had to change my headphones. My apologies.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, Carolyn, it's fine. I mean, you know, he did do something. He ain't all the way innocent nor guilty, but they did railroad him the way they came after him. And it don't matter to me. I'm sticking by him no matter what. And that's what people don't understand.
I
It
know that.
don't matter. It never mattered. Yeah.
So you were
Hmm.
saying there was a malfunction as far as the numbers in the voting process with Biden and Trump.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she started talking about Hillary Clinton. Really, Hillary Clinton hurt herself when they were asking for those emails. It's public information. You can Google it. She had a bunch of emails with some very, and she had scrubbed the hard drive and beat the dog poop out of the hard drive so that it was beaten so that they couldn't get the information. So she was doing some things, and then they wanted to say that there was Russian collusion with Donald Trump. But I don't know. I want to say one day the news was playing, and I don't think that they meant to record it. And
Hmm.
me, I'm so silly. I wasn't really paying attention, but I can remember Maxine Waters and the news cameras was in there, and I was trying to find that segment, and it's gone. There's no evidence of it. And I was sitting there, and I sat down, and she said that she was going to run Biden's campaign off of reparations. And I keep telling people we're not going to get reparations because we are the only group of people that has allowed society to change our names 5 different times. And if they would have stuck with the original name, those are the people that would get the reparations. How can they give African Americans reparations when we were not African Americans during slavery? How can they give Black people reparations when we were not called Black during slavery? How can they give Negroes reparations when we were not called Negroes during reparations? We don't have 5 different names. So the original name, if we go back to claim the original name that we were, that's who the reparations belong to. But since we done moved so far away from our original name, who they gonna give it to?
That's a good question
Who they gonna give it to?
because they don't even consider. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking right. They don't even consider the African American race middle class anymore.
And to be called black, that's why I'm like, I don't know. And I just been praying, and I said, Lord, what is going on? Black, when you look it up, means nothing. So we're running around here. I'm black. So you're telling yourself you're nothing. Look up the
Yeah.
word black. It means nothing. So we're calling ourselves a race of nothing.
Now that's another deep topic to
We
talk about.
got Carolyn, the spiritual warrior, in here. I'm on my phone, Carolyn. Did you want to come up? She was asking what Kanye was doing. But
Oh, wearing a T-shirt that said "White Lives Matter."
yeah, nothing, we talked about him and then we had to come back and apologize because, he has a right to wear whatever type of shirt he wants to, but actually he was mocking Black Lives Matter, who stole all the money.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the only reason why people are making such a big fuss about it because of the money. I could be wrong, but the man, the man has the right to wear what he wants.
Yeah, yeah. But
I mean, that's not to be cutting you off, April. That's
mm,
my
yeah,
opinion. I mean,
yeah, you
I
can
can't.
say I was great to put the mic on mute. Y'all can talk. This is what we have to do.
I mean,
This
I
is the only way we gonna get some type of understanding
What
on
is
how we're
Carolyn
gonna
talking about?
uh,
Carolyn on one.
yeah, Carolyn, yeah.
Oh, she on one. I love it. Go on, girl.
Mhm.
um,
Yeah, Miss Carolyn.
I mean, I
Yeah,
can't speak for everybody else. Not to be cutting you guys off, but I mean, it's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
and, and
like,
we and we respect everybody's opinions over here.
Put
but
Charlotte's comment up there. That I overlooked that by accident. She right about Hillary.
that's who I want to join the panel. Chocolate used to be on here too, cause she giving a lot of information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Don't be scared, y'all. Come up here, cause I'ma tell you, there are people that
Yep.
do that be listening. They're in the bushes. They trying to
Carolyn,
see.
I'm supposed to be paying attention, Carolyn. Stop all that writing, all that good old stuff, girl. Stop it. Stop writing all that good stuff. Shoot.
Carolyn talking about the D. Now, Carolyn, don't be starting nothing. And I'm over here. Hell, I ain't got no man over here. Shit.
Like
You gonna make me wanna. Yeah.
Charlie said Hillary is just a cricket when she called us predators.
Yeah, she did call us predators. But
Oh,
look,
Hillary talked about black men so bad.
check
She
this out.
called black men everything.
But her husband got a black son.
Yeah,
Hello.
she do.
He had a baby by a prostitute in Arkansas. And he looked
Oh,
just like Hillary. I mean, he looked just like what's his name? Clinton. Just like him, but only he light-skinned black boy. He is handsome. He looked just like his daddy. And he don't want to claim the boy because of Hillary Clinton. And he didn't want the world to know that he had a black son. You could look it up on YouTube. That little boy looked just like him. He older now, but it's crazy.
so why wasn't that reported?
If they want it quiet, that's what they're gonna do. If you got power and you did something to me and you got the money and the power, you
Hmm.
gonna make me shut up. And I'm gonna do what? Shut up because I don't want to come up missing, right?
That's true.
Okay, so now that the guy is older and he not president anymore, now he's telling it even more. And they said he used to send money to her in child support, like the what do you call his security guards used to take the money to the boy's mama. It's on YouTube.
Wow.
It's on
Yeah,
YouTube.
Clinton got a lot of kids down there in Arkansas.
Yeah, he like black women.
Hmm. Yeah,
I'm gonna get Charlotte. I'm gonna
and
get
you
Charlotte
her.
needs
know
to
what,
Charlotte
Carolyn?
needs to join this panel. That's what she needs to do.
Yeah,
I know.
Charlotte.
I'm gonna get her.
And you know what, Carolyn? You so right. How you going who gon' who gonna buy a house?
She bought a house.
How
Oh, she
how
talking
you
about
gonna
Pete
buy
Davidson.
a house from your ex?
Was she talking about Pete Davidson? Because she dumped him like a sack of potatoes.
Mhm.
She dropped. she, she, she said that one rotten potato. He said, "I want to marry you." She said, "Peace out."
Okay.
She said, "You can rent this kitty cat, but you can't own it." Oh my!
Oh my God. Oh man, y'all too funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now check this out. See,
Yep.
I'ma tell y'all something. What I've been seeing. I try to look at the world through everybody's eyes. I'm not gonna hate anybody.
Me
The
neither.
good
Hmm.
Lord let me live and beat cancer twice. I
Hmm.
might not prove with you, but you know, and see, this is why I gotta stop watching TV and the news because I saw this stuff on TV. The media is controlling us so much by how they report things.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
as my cousin would say, it's built by design.
Mm-hmm.
Because while everybody was hollering and screaming, talking about they can't stand Kanye and all of this, and we could not even look at the past, him wearing a shirt, which he's got his right to do. And he was mocking Black Lives Matter that they stole for us. Kanye a goddamn genius. The hell, you know. And I'm always talking about the first thing I said was, damn, is he off his meds? But I gotta start looking at Kanye a little bit more deeper. Yeah, Kanye got a wealth of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, we all probably said ask that question, April.
yeah,
But we could never take away the fact that this is a smart, intelligent man.
He is.
yeah,
I mean, he may have had his moments, which we all have. I mean, I had some moments in my life when people probably thought I was off my head, but they can never take away the intelligence that I have, and the
Right.
fact that,
right,
and the fact that we have the right to express our opinion. We might not be right, but at least we can come together like we are doing right now and have these type of conversations.
Right.
mm-hmm,
But look,
So,
another
right.
thing. a lot of people don't know, like they got Maxine Waters up there at the White House, but they don't know the hell that she has wreaked in California. Um, when Donald Trump was in office, there were people out here in California. She said, if you see anybody with a MAGA hat or shirt on, attack them. And people were physically being attacked. And I'm like, why is she not in jail? Because people had really seriously got hurt. People were like
Okay.
beating people up and they were all bloodied and stuff because she told them to go out and attack anybody that had on a Make America Great Again, hat or shirt. But she started spreading the word, talking about make America great again, talk about putting black people in slavery. That meant he wasn't even talking, he was talking about economically, let us become the giants that we were before. It's a lot of stuff that was going on that he stopped. That's why they wanted to attack us, because if Mexico charged us $400 million to send our stuff to them,
Mm-hmm.
and then they turn around and say, "Oh, we're only going to give you 20 million." Donald Trump was like, "No, if you're going to charge us this amount, you're going to pay the same amount, that we have to pay to send our stuff to your country." And so everybody got peed off because they didn't want to go back to, doing it the way it's supposed to be done. And that's what he meant economically by make America great again. He wasn't talking about putting no, how the heck you gonna put all us in slavery? That don't even make sense. You know how many black people are mixed out into different races? That sounds ignorant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what state you in?
Oh, dumb, stupid California.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
you
want
see a lot of you
to
see
get out of
you see
here.
a lot of stuff that goes on.
Man, when I tell you I see a lot of stuff, I see a lot of stuff. Trust me.
Okay.
It's right there in your face. You can't miss it. And like I was telling her earlier about the being a border state,
Okay.
it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And like I said, I don't care about the immigrants coming over here if they really are truly in need. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care about them coming here to get a better way of life for themselves. Do it the right way, because you have people that have been in line waiting for years and you're cutting the line. Not only that, this is the thing that gets me. How is it that you say, I'm running from my country because I'm afraid for my life? They threatened to take me and my family's life. But as soon as you settle in America, like maybe 2 years later, all of a sudden, every time you see a person that is a Latin descent from one of those countries, they're constantly taking trips over there. So if you're so afraid of your life, for your life, why the hell do you keep taking trips over there? You're not afraid. You're just using America to get money to build up over there what you need to do. That's why I don't
Well,
believe.
I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know. I don't want none of them over here right now. We got a damn homeless problem.
Yep.
We can't
Yeah.
take no more people until they house our people that have paid taxes
Yep.
and everything. I'm not thinking about them folks coming over here, and then they coming over here illegally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
and
what?
so
I'm sorry. I was
and
going to.
so
Sorry, Miss April. I keep
I'm mad,
echo.
huh?
I said I got an echo. I apologize.
Oh, okay. But no, not until America takes care of this homeless problem. Nobody should be allowed
Right, Charlotte.
to the United States. I don't give a damn who they is. What's going on? We got a homeless problem over here.
Yep.
Hell, we got tent cities in
Yep.
every city, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Tent cities. That's
Yep.
embarrassing, really.
Look, we got
This
deserts.
supposed to be the
You know
real
how California
country.
got deserts? You got the desert, like the desert. And I'm talking about desert. When we used to drive, like now we drive from to Vegas, what is supposed to be just desert, you got homeless encampments in the damn desert. Who does that? That's the
Yeah,
desert. That's how bad it is. And it's just, it's crazy. Like, and then I overheard a conversation between these girls. We were sitting out eating, and I heard a conversation where two of these girls, well, maybe it was four girls because I couldn't see behind me, but it was like maybe two or four girls sitting behind me and my friends, and the girl was Latino, and she said she was married to a black man. And I'm like, okay, so what? I don't care who you marry. But the thing that got me was she said, I keep my maiden name, and I think she said Gonzalez, Venezuela, something like that. It began with some of that. And she said, my husband, he works and they take child support from him for welfare. And I said, okay, big
Wow.
deal. She said, but we get the check right back and we spend it because they don't know that I'm married to him and we living in the same house. I'm like, ain't that a blip? He paying
So
the
they have
paying,
no,
huh?
so they have no clue. They have no clue that they in the same household.
They don't have no clue they're in the same household. She's not only getting money, she's getting food stamps and she's getting Medi-Cal for the kids and herself. He works. Soon as he get his check, they take it and they send the money to her and they both spend it. So basically, they're getting free Medi-Cal. They're getting free, and she's getting a little bit more money because of his income. But she's getting paid, and every time you turn around, they popping out babies. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. So basically, they getting free money.
And I think they should have stopped, like they said, after three kids, you get nothing else. When we had Governor Schwarzenegger, he said, if you have three kids, that's your limit. Anything after that, that is your business. We not paying for nothing. We are absolutely, and what is happening at the border, because my mom has a friend that works as a border patrol. And she said those pictures that they were sending out were a bunch of BS. She said that was bull crap. Those places didn't look bad like that. She said they was in between getting people, and it was short lived that it looked that crowded, but it wasn't like that. And she said she had to process a little girl, and she said the little girl was like withdrawn, and so the lady that was next to my mom's friend spoke Spanish, and the little girl was covered up, and she was like 11 years old, and the lady got her to trust her. She was hungry, she was eating, they were just talking, and the man was saying, that's my daughter. But they found out he snatched that little girl to get over here to this country. Not only that, that little girl's pregnant by him. They put him in jail, and she got
Wow.
to have a, yeah, they put him in jail because he molested that little girl on the way. She told the whole story, and they're not talking about that. Those kids are being snatched from their family members. And so Donald Trump, when he was in office, he started doing DNAs because every woman carries a mitochondrial DNA in case something happens to a kid that goes back to their mom. So they did a DNA on this one old lady. She said that that was her granddaughter. She snatched somebody's kid to get over here. So they did a DNA and found out that that was not the grandmother. They arrested her. The little girl thankfully was able to tell them who her mother was and how to locate the mom. And the mom came and got her child back and was sitting there crying and happy. That's what a lot of these coyotes are doing. They're snatching people, children, to get them across the border.
Yeah. So that's like illegal
Yeah,
traffic.
yeah, that's what a lot of them doing. They was doing anything to get across the border.
Yeah, and they
But
were
like
trying
I
to,
say, they come up with all kind of schemes. And
yeah,
then what I'm saying is, now they call these migrants, they call them migrants, and illegal migrants.
no,
But they
illegal
can come
immigrants.
over here illegally, but you want me to follow the law. Hey, Carolyn. Carolyn says I'm colorblind, and she says that's why a lot of people don't like her. That's true. And Charlotte says they pay for all the immigrants to reestablish their lives over.
Yep.
but we still have homeless on Skid Row for years.
Yep.
And see all of these politicians that they putting in place. Now I'm gonna tell you, when Kanye West, when he was up there in the White House, he had Larry Hoover's grandson up there. Trump was really trying to do something for Chicago. Remember, he kept saying, if they don't hurry up and do something about Chicago, I'm going to send the National Guard in or something. Remember, people was getting mad at him.
Yep.
But in all actuality, if he was trying to do something to cut down murders and whatever, let him try.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was trying
Yeah.
to he was trying to cut down the murder rate here in Chicago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He was. But you always got that one person, like they were like, oh, he trying to build the border wall. He trying to lock us in so we can't get out. I said, fool, we got airplanes. What is you talking about? I said, he's trying to help us and to secure us. What is it that you really try? You guys are just, we got the most lame, my grandma used to say lame brain. We got some lame brain folks around. We got the most lame brain folks in this world. But I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's like, what do they want? Like I said, until this crime now that is happening in Beverly Hills, people have been hollering for years in California about being jacked at the gas stations,
Right.
getting robbed. Now it's in Hollywood. Now they want to cry, fuss, scream, and do everything else about it. Now they want to do something about it, but they're not. We have a governor, not a governor. We got a district attorney, I think he is, named
Okay.
Gascon. Gascon is such a dingbat. We voted to get him out of office overwhelmingly to impeach him to get him out, and he's still sitting in the office. There was a transgender male that was living as a woman that came and violently assaulted a 10-year-old girl violently. It was bad. And he
Wow.
turned around and put the person inside one of those group home settings, and the individual was bragging about how he got away with doing what he did to that little girl, and someone heard him and reported it. So now he put the person in jail, but this person has done this before in another state. So it's like they're saying the Democratic run cities are going to hell. Look at what's her name? What's her name? That ugly woman that's in Chicago. That I don't know.
Oh, Glory Lightfoot,
Man,
man.
look like a Lightfoot. Ooh, she tore up. That shit. Ooh,
Yeah.
girl, it ain't enough. When they say beat your face, they gotta beat that heifer face because she don't care. They're telling her that crime is going on and she just overlooking it. It's like you
Yeah.
guys are blinded to all the crime that's going on around, and people are not even safe. You can't even wear your wedding ring. You can't even wear earrings. You can't do nothing. You go to the store, you got to watch what you're doing. You got to keep your head on a constant swivel because you don't know who's going to run up and try to do what. It's out of control. You just give these people citations and tell them to come back. You think, man, come on. They gave a guy, look, the other day on Sunday, a lady was walking down the street to meet her boyfriend for lunch. Some guy came up on, I think it was a bike or a scooter. And those in-home fire hydrant things? You know what I'm talking about? To put out the grease fire in your house?
Like fire hydrants or
Fire
something?
extinguisher, fire extinguisher. She was
Okay.
walking to go meet her boyfriend, and he took that fire extinguisher and slapped her in the back of her head and knocked her out cold. She didn't do nothing. She was just walking down the street. And
Wow.
this is the kind of crime. Then we have all the Hispanics out here. They're doing what they call street takeovers, where they're blocking. Like one day I was coming home and they had their cars spinning on the freeway, they spinning on the streets, and they're not. I'm like, how can you not catch these people? So they finally caught some, took their cars, and I'm like, I wouldn't give them back. I would not give them back. Not only that, whoever the register owner is, you no longer have privileges to drive. So stop
Girl,
patting.
they came to Chicago and did that mess. They
Oh,
shut the streets down, and
yep,
then they, doing that little car race like
yep,
they did, in those movies. What was those movies with the cars that
right,
had
Charlotte, right.
huh?
Charlotte said ladies can't even carry their purses in public no more. You right about that.
Yeah.
So, what did you all think about the governor of Texas?
I love him.
Okay.
Love him. Send them all over there. Let them see what we've been crying about for years. We've been crying. When
Oh,
I say we've been
when the
crying, we've been
governor,
crying.
when he sent them to what's his name house?
Yeah, they did it again today. Yeah, he sent another batch today.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it's
If
great because
y'all
I'm
want to
telling
pass,
them.
y'all want to pass the law. I think it's. Hey, I'm
Yep.
clapping my hands.
He
Y'all
needs
pass
to.
these laws, so I'm gonna send y'all. I'm gonna send them right to you. Cause
Yep.
we tried to tell y'all to stop, but
Yeah.
Yep.
y'all
You all,
still to do it.
you all think there should be more laws for immigrants?
I don't look the governor out here. Let me
Uh huh.
tell you what he did. Gascon, I mean not Gascon. Whatever that man. I keep forgetting this because there's so many of them. Um, he turned around all the illegal immigrants in our state right now have
Okay.
driver's licenses. How the hell you do that? How do you give them driver licenses? They're illegal. How do you do that?
But well, they doing it for votes. They gonna replace us, for
They
votes.
Right,
already
but
replaced us.
how do they get driver's license without the proper information?
Newsom is just giving it to them. I'm telling you, he's giving them licenses. He said when they come, it's supposed to be ID that can ID who they are in case they commit a crime. But the accident rates out here are so crazy. I'm talking about we have these law. I'm telling you, they got lawyers moving from other states to come here just for lawyers because of the accidents and stuff.
Okay.
That's how bad it is. They don't know how to drive. Some of them don't like this one lady was driving and I was in Los Angeles. I was downtown getting ready. You know what an alley is, Miss April. I was trying to go to the alley and this lady pulled me, like honked the horn and I stopped. And she's talking to me in Spanish. I'm like, what? And she's like trying to tell me it's a good thing my play sister is fluent in Spanish. And my sister's like, can you read the signs in English? She was like, no. She said, baby, you shouldn't be driving then if you don't know how to read the street signs. You don't know how to
Exactly.
read the laws. She said, you're going to end up, she was going down a one-way street and people were honking to make her come back the right way because she couldn't read the one-way street in English.
Wow.
That's dangerous. That's
And she
very
And
have a
that's another thing. They should know how to speak English when they come over here.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
They get
like I say, I don't care how many of them they send over. But can you please fix our problem first?
that's what I'm saying.
that
Hi,
that
Patty.
should be
What's up, the kitchen? How you doing, sweetie?
that should be one of the requirements once they come
No.
over here to the United States. It should
Yeah.
be where they have to take a year of English classes to learn our language, right? Prime example, if we go to their country, right, we gotta learn their language, right?
Yep. What's his name? The president. He was the president when 9/11 happened. I keep forgetting his name.
Bush,
Who? Bush.
Bush.
Yeah, President Bush had put a declaration. He said if the immigrants want welfare or anything, he said before you get any type of benefits, you have to learn English. If you don't learn English, you don't get nothing. because he had gone into a McDonald's and he's allergic to tomatoes and ketchup. And he told the lady, he said she had a gold tooth in her mouth, and he was telling her no tomatoes, no ketchup. And she kept saying, huh? Huh? And he said right after that, he told one of his guys to contact that McDonald's because she put ketchup and tomatoes on his food. He said, how in the world can you put these people in a job position and they don't even speak English? He said, for now on, if you want a job dealing with the public, you have to learn English. If you want welfare benefits of any kind or any type of assistance, you have to learn English. And he pushed that so hard. Let me tell you how fast them folks learn English, like overnight.
And that's how it should be.
They learn
Yeah.
overnight.
Hey, Miss Patty. Everybody, please like and subscribe. Carolyn is so glad to have you back in the chat. You come and go, but you
Hello, Miss
always
Patty.
come check on Miss April. But check this out. Now I'm gonna tell you something else. What y'all think about Hershel Walker
Oh my
running?
God.
I don't know too much about him. I seen some ringing in the news, so maybe y'all can go ahead and handle that one.
And then his son. Well, remember Hershel Walker? I mean, he was in football. He was great. He got drafted, young. But now he's running as a Republican for some type of office.
I
And
don't.
whatever
I don't agree. I don't agree with. I don't agree. I know him very well as a football player, but I don't agree with a lot of his political
Views.
his political whereabouts.
They require kids to learn 2 years of Spanish. The hell I will. I wasn't born in Mexico, so I ain't gonna learn it. What I look like. That's dumb as heck. Why would you force me to learn some stuff
Well,
that never came from that country?
That's true. That's true.
but check this out. For job hunting, if you bilingual, you can find you a great job
They
that
need to
pays
come
well.
Yeah,
go
you
to.
can make a lot of money speaking other languages besides your own.
No, forget that. Forget that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Forget that.
You don't feel like taking the courses like that?
You know what? My godmother is half black, half Latino, and she speaks both languages. And
Okay.
she's on the same page with me. Her mom, which is my god grandma, was full blooded Latino. I don't remember which part of the which Spanish area she comes from. That's why I say it like that. And
Okay.
she said, "Well, if we all had to come here the right way, what makes them any more special?" She said, "We was poor. We saved our money. We did it the right way. Why do they get to jump the front of the line?"
Like,
You
why did
know,
they get like special privileges, right?
right. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. But back to Herschel Walker. I'm sorry, Miss April. I don't know too much about him. If he was a football player, he needs to stay in that arena. If he got family issues and his son is putting him on blast, then that's a bad look. Hi, Steve. Steve gonna have to
Hey,
teach me how to
Steve.
tap dance. I'm gonna
Well,
keep bothering him.
well, well. The thing of it is, Herschel, girl, this stuff happened in the early 2000s. This stuff is 20 something years old. My thing of it is he has a right to run for office, and his right, if he wants to be a Republican, that's on him.
Right.
But
Right.
to have this son coming out making all of these statements about him uh, is awful too. And some of these kids, they some ungrateful little MF. Some of these.
I'm sorry. That
I, I
that
knew,
caught me
I knew
off
it, I
guard.
knew it, I knew it was coming. I guess was waiting for it, cause I knew she was gonna say it.
Right.
And
That was funny.
Chuck, like I told you, I can't deal with these new kids.
Yeah.
They ADHD these kids, they Ritalin babies, they crack babies. You
Yeah.
know, these damn new kids, these some hyper ass little son of a gun. I love them, but they, but Hershel,
This is Miss April comedy segment hour.
but all of these kids coming up, they want to act like the parents owe them something.
Right.
You don't
Yeah,
owe
you're right.
these little MFs nothing. You raise them till they 18,
Yeah.
till they 18, give them the good skills, and then hopefully they can go on. Now, in today's world, uh, they all, you know, they all, it needs to be two families under one roof, because shit just too hot now.
Yeah, you're right,
But,
April.
you know, people need to learn how to get along and learn how to make it work. But
Right.
Yeah.
this boy, his father was famous. I mean, he played for the Cowboys and stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm like this. If you gotta go drag somebody on social media, your parent and whatever, you ain't shit neither.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
You
He
know,
was a high profile football player.
But what exactly
then
is it that he's fussing about? Didn't his dad take care of him? Why is he crying all of a sudden? Is it because he
well
mad he wasn't with his mama?
now he wants to say he had 4 kids and
So,
never by 4 different women and didn't live in the house with any of them.
so
But I bet you your mother got a nice child support check after
hello.
y'all divorced. This was
Right.
his first wife, 3 years.
And he divorced his wife, right?
Huh?
He divorced his wife, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. If the man took care of you and you didn't want for nothing, who am I to cry about it? Especially if my dad gave me resources to make sure that I'm not sleeping in the streets and I'm not going from pillar to post. If
Yeah.
mom and dad broke up, then I blame the mother too, because when you break up with somebody, like I told my son, I said, look, me and your daddy didn't work out because it wasn't for us. We thought that we could make it work. I said, but what we got going on has nothing to do with you. Just know that we both love you. I never spoke bad about neither one of my kids' dad. And that's the first mistake women do. When you break up with your spouse, I don't care what he did. That's between you and him. If he cheated on you, that has nothing to do with the kids. Keep the kids out your
Exactly.
damn business and let them kids bond with their own parent. You know,
Yeah.
that's what's wrong with women today. We want to get mad at the daddy. Oh, he old dog. He get on my damn nerve. Well, that's you. Leave them kids out of that. Let that child bond with his dad. Because if something happened to you tomorrow, he ain't gonna have no daddy to go to because you done poisoned them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Hey, Carolyn.
She's so beautiful. Come back up here, girl.
Yeah, come on back in here.
She go. Carolyn.
There you
Oh,
go.
there she go. Yeah, what's up? How you been?
Hello.
Hey,
Something's wrong with her
Carolyn.
mic.
Hello, Carolyn.
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
It's been a while, Carolyn. How you? Yeah. What you want to talk about while you up here? Okay, it's like the volume
Her volume is low.
is your volume is low.
But I can hear her though.
No, I can hear, but I can't make out what you saying.
Yeah. She'll be
Yeah.
back.
Oh, okay. But
Cool.
yeah, what I've learned and what I'm going, you know, um, I I guess they say I gotta keep my third eye open. Now, hell, I can barely see out of these two,
I'm
and
done.
and
Look,
they holler, keep a third eye open, or I guess you know I'm not gonna be sleeping, 'cause they be talking about you gotta stay
yeah,
woke, I'm woke. But
So what do
I will have to say that sometimes after this Kanye stuff, I got to realize that sometimes it's a message within the
yeah.
message. And
yeah,
the
So
media only shows us what they want us to see. They,
that's true.
uh-huh.
So what did you
And
guys
I know
what did
this.
you all consider I'm sorry, April, go ahead.
No, I'm muting the mic. Go on.
I was just gonna ask what do you all consider the third eye?
what, say it again?
What do you all consider the third eye?
Your spiritual awakening, like keeping
Okay.
your, like spiritually keeping yourself open to, kind of feel, the atmosphere, what's going on. That's for me. you know um I don't know about Miss April, but that's what I see. I always, like, I'm not quick, like whatever I hear and whatever I see, it doesn't matter how severe it sounds. The
Mm-hmm.
Lord has always put in me, sit back and wait and watch, pay attention. Don't be so quick to jump. Don't be so
Yeah.
quick to go forward. Don't be so quick to move. Don't be so quick to make a video. Slow down, wait.
Yeah.
And to me, Kanye West has always been like the type of person that will give you parables, and you got to figure it out. If you're smart enough to figure it out, then you'll get the message. Like with that White Lives Matter that he had on, it was like a parable. And if you didn't catch it, like, why is he wearing that? Okay, so why y'all still wearing Black Lives Matter? So it's
Okay.
like, what if White Lives Matter? What have they done to you? They didn't have you do all this fundraising. They didn't do all that fundraising for White Lives Matter and keep the money. It's like, it's gonna make it harder to me for
Mm-hmm.
a Black person. Like if we decided, all of us, me, Miss Carolyn, Miss April, Miss Charlotte, Steve, all of us, if we decide that we was gonna come up with a group and say
Okay.
we're gonna benefit, this group is gonna benefit Blacks and Latinos, they're
Mm-hmm.
not going to want to believe us because of what Black Lives Matter did, because there was no structure, there was no police over the whole situation. And now that everything fell through the toilet holes, through the toilet, nobody wants to say, I'm the leader, I'm accountable. Nobody
Right.
wants accountability. So if you don't have somebody that's being accountable, anybody's able to steal, you know what I'm saying, and take things. And
Right.
that's what she did. So the next group that comes up that really, really is serious about a movement, people are not going to be so quick to want to, donate and help out, because they're going to remember what Black Lives Matter did to us, prior to that. And that's what makes it look so bad. And that's what hurts, the community, whether it be Black, White Lives Matter, Spanish Lives, Asian Matter, whatever it is, they're going to be like, I don't trust it. Because look what Black Lives Matter did.
That's true. Like you said, people
You,
have to take people have to take accountability.
I can't
Um,
hear you, Miss Carolyn.
nah, we can't hear you.
Check your
It may be her mic or the
no,
internet.
no, I'm trying to think. I had an issue like that, and I'm trying to
Oh,
remember.
okay.
I went into my settings and I looked up like my speaker, because it has to recognize the actual microphone set that you have. So
Okay.
I don't know what kind of computer she has, so I can't tell her how to do it. But you have to go into where the microphone is and look at the settings. You want to do the phone? Can you call on the phone? Oh, I want to hear her.
But you're right though. I mean, as far as people
Hold
starting
on.
a move.
Steve said he
Oh,
think it was a form of dividing. I don't think it was so much as dividing, Steve. I think it was more or less making a mockery of Black Lives Matter because of what they did. Like Miss April said, they got something in the range of 90 million dollars, and Patrice Colliers, who took a million of that, okay, a
wow.
shy of a million of that, and gave it to her baby's dad. Then she turned around and bought properties all over the world. Then she put money in offshore accounts. Not only that, she gave 20 something million to the LBGTQIA community. Then she gave her brother uh, like $600,000 or something like that for a security company, and the rest of the money she gave little pennies to Trayvon Martin's family. But it was that movement was based on the lives that were taken violently by police officers, and none of those people saw any of that money, which I think, um, if anything, they divided us when they stole that money, and nobody's willing to take accountability.
So all that money came from different donations of charity.
Huh?
All that money that they raised, that they accumulated came from different charities.
It came from like different organizations. It
Okay.
came from like people donating. It came from celebrities, and all these people gave up money, for the movement. And she
Mhm.
turned around and like slapped them right in their face, and kept their money. And not only that, she was showing pictures and videos of her having elaborate, extravagant parties. And there was something in the news at one point that she donated a certain amount of millions to the presidential campaign.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. I think that Kanye West was doing it as a mockery. Like, you guys still want to fall for this Black Lives Matter crap after everything this woman has done, stole your money. Miss April read it earlier. I want her to come back up and read it, what he said in his post.
Okay.
Miss April, can you come back and read what he said? Kanye West said.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. Let me get the other phone. Hold on.
Okay.
You are giving out a lot of good information.
Yeah, hold on for a minute, Steve, because that's why we had to come back. Uh, hold on.
I'm glad I joined you.
Sure. I'm glad she had this this live. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
give it about another couple minutes. I gotta go feed my little shorty before he comes in here and start growling for some food.
How old is he?
4.
Okay.
Yeah, he's something else.
All right.
I
But
taught him very well and very early. Don't talk to nobody, and he knows how to fight. He knows it.
wow.
He's very smart, very smart. I educate him when I'm reading. He's sitting right
Hmm.
there listening. So this little boy
Okay.
can hold a conversation.
That's the best way for him to get informative.
Yep.
Okay, Kanye West said the Black Lives Matter movement was a scam, and now it's over. You're welcome.
Exactly. Exactly. So I don't think, I'm not trying to like argue with Steve, because he's very, very smart, very, very knowledgeable. I love listening to him, and I respect his channel, his views, and the way he educates us. However, that part right there, I have some, if you actually go to that house and look at what she spent money on in that area out here in California, it
Hmm.
will blow your mind. Everybody on this panel can have 2 mansions for the amount of money that, because California property is extremely expensive for the little bit of property that you get. Extremely expensive. There's a house down the street, um, and it's like 800 square feet, and they got 2 bedrooms, and that house is running for $800,000. And you don't even have enough. You don't even have a backyard. If you do a cartwheel, you'll end up in your neighbor's backyard.
Wow.
It's very expensive out here. Really expensive.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, so it was a mockery. Hey, Bronze Bird, how are you doing?
you still can.
Karen, can we hear you now? Karen?
Oh, I wish I could see her computer.
Uh-uh.
I bet you want to hear what she got to say.
If she types in the
No.
private chat, I'll go ahead and read it.
Okay, Bronze Bird say,
Peace.
okay, you want to come up? Let me drop the link.
Oh yeah, come on. If it's a walk in the park, come on now. Come on. Come
Yeah,
on.
I can bring up to 10 people. Hold on. We gonna
Yeah,
let
because
you talk.
I want to hear other people's thoughts on this.
Hold
Miss
on.
April, you don't mind if I drop down? Because little bird in here getting upset he hungry.
Oh, okay, you fine.
Peace and
Okay,
love. Oh, because she said my mic is not working. It's the effing man trying to silence me. I'm serious. I can believe that girl. Ain't nothing strange, but a little change.
hold on.
All right, I gotta go.
All right.
I'm gonna
Okay,
I'm gonna greet y'all black peas and chicken grease. get in the private chat and read her messages as they come through. I gotta drop down. I love you guys.
Love you too.
now Carolyn, you want me to? I gotta look at the screen, but I'm gonna do this for you. Hold on. Let me drop this link, and so Bronze Bird can come up and break this down for us. Hold on, y'all.
Do you have a messenger, April? That might work.
Okay. Okay. Bronze Bird, we're waiting on them. Now let me go to the private chat since I love Miss Carolyn so much. Okay. So she said my mic is not working. Okay. All right. Her mic isn't working and we waiting on Bronze Bird. But the only reason, like I said, we came back uh because my first reaction of seeing Kanye West with that shirt on
Hmm.
was when he off his meds, but it was actually to send a message that, Black Lives Matter, the scam y'all, they didn't do what they supposed to do.
Hmm.
And for some crazy reason, you know, we want to give our people a pass. We don't want nobody to talk about them.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. But they don't. But people are
no,
gonna do that anyway.
yeah, yeah. But, yeah, people gonna talk anyway. But like I said, Black Lives Matter. And it's a shame a group that was supposed to help us,
Mm-hmm.
they stole all of that money. Hold on. Hold on. I'm ready to bring up
So what happened to the money?
okay, hold on. Jesus Christ. They stole it.
Wow. And my
Peace.
you want?
Okay, Bird, how are you?
Good. How are you? Peace to everybody in the panel.
Okay.
Hello.
Peace, peace. So,
Yeah. So
how
glad
long
to
has y'all
have you.
getting? Glad to be here. Glad to see everybody. How far y'all was going with the Kanye situation? How far did y'all go? And especially Black Lives Matter.
Well, no. We would love, hey, you can start where you start. I was letting people know when I first saw Kanye with the shirt on, my first instinct was it's Kanye off his meds. And then I did a little bit more research and it was like, no, Kanye was warning us, telling us Black Lives Matter. He was actually mocking them. They stole from us, it's over, now what?
Hmm.
And that's about it. Now, if you want to go deeper and enlighten me on something I don't know, please do.
All right. So, I actually just recently did a video on that. So, what I was saying was a lot of people is just gonna automatically say that Kanye was off his meds and that he hasn't been the same since his mom died. Okay, that's at the surface. Well, we need to understand what that happened with the whole entire black and white, the black and white thing. He was offering the globalist agenda. What does that mean? Everybody comes together as one. And so the black and white would should remind you of the masonry checkerboard, black and white. You can't
Mm.
have black without the white, white without the black. So the thing about it is combining two forces together to come into one, therefore using the race as a way to bring upon the conversation. But at the same time, it is true that he was sitting up there saying that Black Lives Matter is a fraud organization because they are. They are for. I've said this for the longest time. And the thing about it is that basically Black Lives Matter is just nothing more but an extension of bringing along the NWO and what you call it, bringing along the NWO, but following the Communist Manifesto. So they're all about bringing chaos and divide and conquer strategies amongst the world, and then sitting up there saying like usually using the so-called black man as a sacrifice for their agendas. So that's
That's a
something I
good point.
peeped out. And then I was like, what's funny is that a lot of people didn't pay attention to the front of the sweatshirt of um, Kanye West featured the Pope. There was something I had read online on what it represented, and I'm trying to find it. But there was a significant reason why he had the Pope on the front of his shirt. So I'm trying to find that right now. If I can find it, I'll show you. Or I'll tell you what it means.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Peace.
Hey, White Tupac, what's going on?
Hey, bro, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Good, good.
So Kanye's whole purpose was to divide the movement of Black Lives Matter.
No, I
Okay.
mean, I
No,
mean, it wasn't that wasn't the main thing. Like it wasn't primarily about dividing the movement. I mean, maybe that is his personal feelings, and I'm not gonna take away from like that is his personal feelings, but in
Okay.
having the white and the black, it's the honorary, like it reminded me of the masonry checkerboard. So black and white, black and white forces come together because even if you understood exactly how he was before all then, why did he go to Donald Trump and always talk about this thing about love and everybody should come together? And then this whole entire conversation about interracial this and interracial that is about bringing forces together. So the globalist agenda.
Right.
Um,
I'm in
that's
Canada. I'm
mainly.
in, I'm
So
in Canada, so it's a lot of bullshit too.
what do you mean?
I'm in Canada. It's a lot of bullshit.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of bullshit, but understanding how it works as being a celebrity, there's always an agenda to what they're bringing out there. Kanye is a force to be reckoned with because he's bringing other things to the forefront. He's playing two roles. He wants to tell you that he believes in, he's a hardcore Christian, but then he still follows around the orders that's supposed to be given to him by the uppers, I'll say, because I can't really, I'm not going to say the real word, but you know.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And you know, you were so right, because the first thing I thought was Kanye was off his meds. And that's why I said, let me do this show. Because after they kept talking about it, and uh, I done read
Uh,
news articles from Newsweek, all kind of different channels, um, Willie D Live, and basically, you know, he was
listen,
letting us know we done been had again. Ain't nobody getting ready to come save us. We got to come save our damn self.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Brunsberg?
I mean, my thing about it is like it's like it's always gonna be something like I would say like a cog in the machine. Like that's basically going to be more of like it's probably a race baiting stunt in my eyes. That's why I just didn't really try to get too deep into it, as in like you know black people suffrage, all this other stuff. Because to me, it was just like, in my honest opinion, it was more than likely a race baiting stunt. You know, you gotta take that with a grain of salt because even if you think about Black Lives Matter, who's involved in that organization anyway? There are white people that's involved in it. And
Yeah.
of course, what we understand about Black Lives Matter is that they bring in a lot of these leftist agendas into it and then don't make it about black people. They make it about everything else except black people. I've said this before and I've said it, I'll say it one more time. Well, first time here. The one thing that they bring into the Black Lives Matter, which they will never stop doing, is LGBTQ stuff. Now, the focus was supposed to be about how a black boy got killed in 2013. This was supposed to be an organization designed and brought about by three so-called black women. Where do we get a conversation about a black boy dying in the streets by the hands of cops to making this all about what sexuality, gender, and all this other stuff that's going on that has nothing
Honestly,
to do with Black
honestly,
Lives Matter
Well, that's a good point.
honestly,
at all?
That's a
honestly,
damn
in
good
the
point.
States, I live in Canada. That shit don't happen.
What you mean? What doesn't happen?
The shit you're talking about, that shit don't happen in Canada.
What doesn't happen in Canada, bro?
A lot of shit.
Okay, explain what you mean. Like, there's a specific reason why
Yeah,
you're
what
saying what
don't
you're saying.
happen in Canada?
We don't get robbed. We don't do shit.
Well, judging the fact of the matter in Canada, y'all actually getting y'all asses whooped by the prime minister over there because I know with Justin Trudeau, whatever his
He's a
name is.
fucking fraud. That guy's a piece of shit. Justin Trudeau's a piece of shit.
Right. But the fact of the matter is, even in Canada, there has been plenty of events that happen where there has been police brutality. Now, it's not as race based as it is in America or the US, but there still is police brutality that happens in Canada for sure.
Yeah.
But the problem that y'all are dealing with a prime minister that's trying to get y'all on his get y'all on his agenda. So I already know
He's
Canada
a
is on some
fucking piece
BS.
of
It's
shit.
ever since that truck convoy that happened. But going back to Black Lives
Yeah,
Matter,
that's
that's
bullshit.
not far from the that's
That
not
shit
far
that
from
went
the
down.
tree. But that's not far from the tree either, because even with that, you had people out in Black Lives Matter in their branch in Canada that bought a mansion out there that was formerly owned by communists
Yeah.
for 60 million. So the thing about it is, even if we're saying that Black Lives Matter is not as effective in Canada, it actually is.
Right. They still have police brutality over there.
Exactly. They still is like, even like black people in Canada being shot by cops. Now it's just different because Canada is not as race based or having race issues like America or the US is. You know what I'm saying? It's not as race based over there as it is over here.
Right.
but it still happens. There is discrimination in Canada. I know that for sure.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, because the blacks take over the fucking drug situation. They try to rob people. They fucking, you know.
White people do too. What do you mean? White people have the illest problems with opioids right now.
Yeah, with this fentanyl shit, that's got to go. I just lost a bunch of friends from that shit.
Right. So when you say that taking over the drugs and stuff like that, what do you mean by that? Because even if we're talking about a drug trade, it's not primarily so-called black people.
In
And
Canada,
actually,
yeah.
if you do the studies, crime has been down from so-called black people for the past 40 years, I believe. Black men ain't going to jail like that. Actually, they're actually becoming more of the middle class by 64%.
No, I'm just saying, a lot in Canada, it's the blacks. And dude, they even tried selling candle wax as crack.
Black people, wait, I'm sorry.
Yes, in Canada, in Ontario, Cornwall, Ontario, near Ottawa. Yeah.
Is there an
It's just like
article?
candle
Is there an
wax.
article to that?
Why
Is
would
there?
it be?
Is
Nobody's ratting. Nobody's ratting.
I'm asking you, is there an article to that with what you're saying?
No, because nobody's ratting. Nobody's gonna rat. Oh, the black ice will be candle wax. You know what I mean? Like,
You're talking about a situation that personally happens around you. That's not related to what is going on with Black Lives Matter and Kanye West. With all due respect,
no.
it's not like it's all over the place, bro. Like in terms of Black Lives Matter, we have known it to be a fraud organization that started off with sitting up there talking about black boys being killed by cops. Then it transferred over to being about leftist stuff and then doing stupid things like harming so-called white people in different neighborhoods and accusing them of gentrification, and then sitting up there talking about how doing stupid stuff like twerking to make a point in front of cops. Like, this is what we're dealing with when it comes to Black Lives Matter. Then the fraud organization came out. We found out Patrice Cullors, whatever her name is, was buying mansions and helping her baby father out in Los Angeles. And then the fact of the matter is, you had that clown, and I really do call him a clown, Sean King, who was talking about light skin privilege when he's a whole so-called white man. Then on top of that,
Right.
you obviously know that what's her name out there? That lady got outed for being a white woman. And now she's doing OnlyFans of all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know who the other lady is on the panel. I just wanted to say I know you were saying something, but you're also muted. So I don't know if you're trying to speak.
Yeah. I'm trying to
So,
understand. I'm trying to
yeah.
understand
So,
exactly what she's saying.
yeah,
Yeah, she's
I
muted right now.
understand it too. And so, yeah, this wasn't a moment to conquer and divide us. This was a moment for us to see that these people are still ripping us off. We're going to get money for our organization. This is supposed to be the Black Lives Matter. They got $91 million. I mean, this organization is only a year or two old. Oh, like, where is the money?
Well, it's
You know,
9 years old. Because it got funded in 2013.
as it gets here.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
yeah, Black Lives
2013.
Matter. Yeah, Black Lives Matter was founded in 2013, and then it got the backing from George Soros. It was founded by so-called black women, but they got the funding from George Soros.
Oh, hey, Rockin'. Yeah, they started the music battle late. Okay. Okay, so that's like 9 years Black Lives Matter has been around.
Yes.
And they really didn't blow up to George Floyd's murder, correct?
No, they actually did. But what happened was Black Lives Matter, that situation that happened with George Floyd, you also had the alt-right movements come out along with that, and they was causing chaos with the George Floyd protests. So you had Black Lives Matter that started acting rebellious, then the alt-right came out and they were causing ruckus and causing harm and stuff like that. In my honest opinion, if you haven't heard it from me, that was all a way to signal off the lockdown we was in. So in order for it to kind of be like a recess from the lockdown, that's what I believe to this day, they chose that to go ahead and get people to come outside, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
you haven't heard it from me.
Wow.
that's true. That's a good point
Yeah.
because that's the only way that people was gonna be able to vote.
Oh,
Wow.
because that was 2020. Um, that's a whole another story within inside of
Oh yeah,
itself.
definitely. I definitely agree with you. That's
Yeah,
a
'cause
whole another topic.
that's a whole nother story, man. Like the propaganda between that and even if you think about it from the sense of what happened in 2016, that was a divide and conquer strategy too. Why was
That's
people getting mad all because somebody was wearing a Make America Great Again hat?
that's
Who
true.
cares? Why was it a big deal? Oh, Trump was a racist and blah blah blah, all this other stuff. Biden was a racist. Biden is trying to clear his tracks right now. So he pulled tactics by using Kamala Harris, who has been known for sitting up there putting so-called black men in jail for marijuana charges, and then the stunt that he pulled in 1994. But his tenure in being his tenure in being a political figure since the 1970s, I'm like, dude, you are a racist because you knew exactly everything that went on from when you first came in, I believe 1973 and 1974 to 2022. Like,
Yeah,
it's foolish. But
1974 to be exact.
yeah, 1974 to your tenure now as president to 2022 in midterm elections, which right now they're saying no voting, no vucking. VUCKING. Like we're like I told black people, I had a conversation with people. I said, yo, if y'all gonna vote, vote with logic. Don't vote with emotions.
Right. Don't vote off what you see on social media or the news.
Right. Vote lot. You have to vote with the what is Biden going to do. Back then, I was like, what is Biden going to do? What is his policies? What is and I believe at that time he didn't have no policies.
Yeah,
He
he
made
didn't have.
He didn't
Yeah,
have anything. I
he
mean, he
didn't
only
have.
came forward and said, probably loan forgiveness, but that's once he got in.
Yeah, yeah. He actually didn't have no type of um agenda.
No, none.
Mhm. Yeah.
He
But
just wanted.
see,
He just wanted Trump out of office.
But a lot of like my thing is, if you wanted Trump out of office, that's fine and dandy. But what is your reasons? You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? Oh,
Right.
it's just that we don't. It's just that Trump is a racist. I say, yeah, Trump has definitely said some inflammatory things. You know what I'm saying? He definitely has. I'm not going to deny that. But my thing
Yeah.
about it is to the same. We're talking about a financial guru, a financial mogul versus an actual politician. My thing is, and I don't even like to spread my views. I'm apolitical, so I don't care for either president. I don't care. But my thing about it is that Trump would have been needed when it comes to the financial backing of America
Okay.
versus Joe Biden, who would have been sitting up there like now at this time lending more money to Ukraine instead of worrying about the things that's happening in America. But then
Right.
again, that's also about annexing and trying to help out the country for some type of gain. So with that going on, my thing back in 2020, it was just like, yo, you're gonna get mad at me because I have a conscience. I was like, look, you're gonna get mad at a man who doesn't believe it, allegedly, because that's the script. Because I don't even believe Donald Trump believed certain things that he said. But But let's just say he said that he wanted to make America great again. That would mean that it's less outsourcing for different companies out in America, because America loves to outsource. So if Trump was the one to sit here and say, make America great again, and he wants to keep American jobs, then that would mean less outsource. So that would mean more opportunities for Americans to gain employment. We're right now in like one of the craziest times in our economy where unemployment is probably going to get high because of the inflation and all these different things. But let's not even focus on that. I'm not going to even get into that. Someone
Right,
said
right.
in the chat,
Right. That's another
pawn.
topic.
Yeah, that's another topic, because I was like, all of them is pawns. Let's be real. You don't actually vote. You they get selected. So I'm gonna leave that alone. But Black Lives Matter, Kanye West. I just think that a lot of people stop falling for the bait, man. Like at the end of the day, this was a stunt. I mean, it's something that might happen behind this. I don't
Mhm.
know, but this was definitely a stunt. Like to the small faction, but it's a lot
Yeah.
more stuff out here that a lot of people don't know.
Like you said, I mean, they made $91 million.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on for a minute. Let me. hmm Yeah. See, Yvette just made a comment. Black Lives Matter did nothing for the black community
That's what I said.
except protest and profit. Black Lives Matter promotes white agendas and selective feminist movement. Racism is worse than ever, especially with black politicians. Right.
That's true.
That's it.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Yeah.
Rocking with the two says they are all punk. Hold on, I gotta let somebody else up. Okay. All right. Is this me? Hold on, y'all. I'm on this phone. I'm rocking with the truth. Says I'm a female and I agree. I also think the feminist movement has gone too far for WT women.
White
They
women.
are losing their minds. Yeah.
I mean, feminist movement. What you're trying to, I think a lot of people is plugging into social media too much. The feminist movement, what started off was just a disagreement between the so-called white woman with the so-called white man. Then it got into our people, and then now it's just Western women, right? So now it's just the dynamics between male and female these days is just kind of like, well, I don't want to date, I don't want to get married, and all this other stuff, because just the divide and conquer strategy. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of that stuff going on, man.
Oh
Nobody
yeah.
wants to get married. No one wants to be in relationships. Everything is just kind of like, what do you offer me? Is it lust, greed? All those different things.
Right. Or is it complicated? How the hell can you be in a relationship and you talking about it's complicated? No, no. Make that make sense. I wouldn't be in no complicated relationship. And some people got it. I'm in a complicated relationship.
That
I'm like,
means
oh my,
that
the
means
world.
when people say they're in a complicated relationship, that means there's some disagreement somewhere. But like you
Yeah.
said, how can someone say they're in a complicated relationship? Isn't relationship supposed to be about love?
Well, first of all, why would we even just, why would that even be an alternative? Why would that be an alternative?
because
To me,
there's
that's
some,
just how I feel.
because
Like,
to
that's
me
just
there's
how
some to me there are some communication issues if someone say they're in a complicated relationship. Somebody is not happy.
well, if
That's just
I ain't happy, I'm gonna
that's
leave
just
that
my
time.
opinion.
Huh?
That's just my opinion. I could be
Yeah,
wrong about
yeah. What's your hello?
it. I'm here.
Yeah, I was seeing where Brownsburg went to get his opinion.
Oh, Glassberg has given some good information on the
I know.
as
So
far as the
Where did he go?
Black Lives Matter movement is concerned.
Where did he go?
no, I'm
I don't
still
know.
here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. So what do you think about when people say we need to start, like staying woke or use your third eye? What's your thoughts on what they mean behind all of that?
Um, my thoughts on like being woke and all that other stuff. It's just my fault. It's like my signal is messing up. Okay, I'm good. So about being woke in the third eye, it's like people are using these terms too much that they don't really know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you talk about third eye and all this other stuff, you know what I mean? And being woke, it's like woke to them is like, oh, I said something that was deep. There you go. And it's like that's not what woke. Honestly, that's not what
Right.
it is. You know what I mean? Like you being woke is actually being hated by a lot of people, to be honest. So like
I got another question for you, Brownsburg.
yeah.
Do you think black people will ever come together?
Uh this period in time, I would wish for it. Um it's possible, but there's too much divisions and there's too much stuff going on that separates us as one. So I mean, that's all I can really say. All I always say is you build with the tribe that's on the same thinking as you, because honestly, it's a mass place of misinformation where everybody believes that they different and
Hmm.
that stuff like that.
Yeah, and people don't want to take accountability.
No, they don't. Yeah,
But
yeah.
hopefully, not to be cutting anyone off. Hopefully, one day, um, black people can come together.
I don't see it. I mean, I used to pray and hope for it, and I knew. Okay, all right, I got it. Let me see. My camera is off. Okay, so like Bronze Bird, I'm 60 years old, right? So in the 70s, I saw a whole different way of life. I saw where black people was together. Black people weren't worried about what religion you was. They weren't worried about none of that. I mean, they all was living in the community. They were a great community. Everybody looked out for everybody. Now it's so much division. No, you can't go see them. They Jehovah Witness. You don't go see these people. You know. So, hey, love and live show. And so I was always saying, like, oh my God, I just wish they can come together. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I think we getting further away from each other. Cause I'm gonna tell you, some days I be like, I can't fool with these Negroes no more, or whatever you want to call us, this week or this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so 'cause it's like I came back and I did a show to say I was wrong for misinterpreting what Kanye West did. I wanted my audience to know is that I should have never been speaking out against the man. Like my first reaction would be, is he off his head? But right along, there was a message within that message, and I wasn't even paying attention. So
Well,
I'm
that's
feeling some type of way.
that's the thing. That's the thing that the media knows how to control, right? Because they know that so-called black people will act off their emotions first, in which I like to learn. I like to get deep down to the bottom of things. I don't like just taking things at face value. Because the thing about it is, if we were saying that, because the first thing they'll say is Kanye is a coon, right? They'll go ahead and they just list out those words. He's a coon, and all that denotes now when so-called black people say that is that it's just a man. It's just a man or woman with a difference of opinion. That they don't like to think deeper on the subjects and to understand exactly what denotes and what he's saying. Like I said, what I broke down was the combination of forces. Not having the white without the black, black without the white, right? Masonry checkerboard. See, a lot of people may miss that point and they may just be like, oh, how dare Kanye say something against Black Lives Matter? Because you have to understand. And the thing about it is that in order, if black people was talking about coming together, you have to have a mission. You have to have I would say treaty, but the thing about it is like we're all over the place with everything. We don't have a main point of where we're trying to get to. Like right now, we will be talking about um we'd be talking about like reparations. But you see how many groups is out there that says who we are? Are you Aboriginal? Are you from Africa? Are you a Hebrew Israelite? Are you this? Are you that? Because certain jurisdictions may happen if you describe yourself as one type of group. So if it's for all black people, certain black people wouldn't qualify. It was for reparations. But going back to what I'm saying about this, just a lot of people had to. I advise people just break down. It's so beautiful when you just look at things differently, right? Because you're
Yeah.
able to dissect it and not automatically go with the status quo. So my whole entire thing at the end of the day is once I go down with that status quo, I mean, and once I start to understand beyond the status quo of what everybody's talking about, you can decipher the bull from the ish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how I look at it.
It's
And
different when you go deeper into the narrative of what's going on. Because we get actual facts of information for yourself.
Exactly.
yeah.
It, it's like
And
it's
like
like
I said, I was way off base with this one because, I love the fact when Kanye was up there in the White House and he had his grandson up in the White House trying to clean up Chicago.
yeah.
So, yeah,
It's like sometimes we have to think outside of the box. At least I do.
yeah,
Well, of course, man. Like my thing about it is definitely think outside the box. You can't wish for unity, but then understanding that certain people within what you call your skin folks is going for complete degeneracy.
Right.
You have that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, if you trying to look for a prosperous community or look for a prosperous town to start off together, you got to remove those that's not really making no moves and causing more harm than good.
Yeah,
Look at the communities you in. The thing about it is like you could be supporting any politicians out there that look like your people.
that's true. That's just like when people say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this for my community." Okay, how are you going to get other people to believe what you're doing to better your community?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it all starts together. You can't build a village with one person. It has to be um, it has to be a community. Like that's the only way to make your community better. Like everybody has to be on the same agenda. We might not all agree, but at some point, everybody has to be on the same agenda.
Well, everybody would denote that that's pretty much 100%. It won't. I don't think. I would say most, because not everybody is just going to agree. But I mean, as a collective, if you understand,
Right?
that's a start.
Yeah. We got to start right. We have to be as not only just black people, um, as a whole. We have to be able to communicate better with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and that's for anyway. Like nothing is gonna come about if we can't all communicate with each other.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's a fact. Cause like I say, we can't even sit down at the table and I feel like to me, I feel that our race, we got so much hate for each other than we do other people.
yeah,
We're always criticizing and looking down. And so I
yeah.
just think we are our own worst enemy.
And that what you just said, April, is kind of what Kanye is saying. Like we our own worst enemy. We put ourselves down.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I'm 60. And I just knew I would see a change to everybody on the panel. I was like, oh my goodness, maybe we can come together. And
yeah,
the more I be looking at different things, I don't know, this might be built by design.
yeah. I
But
mean,
the
I'm a,
current way that I see my black people think, we
mhm.
ain't never get ready to get a dime,
I mean,
penny,
I'm a, I'm, I'm,
nothing.
I'm a month away from being 49 years old, and I have seen a lot of stuff um in my lifetime. But doing these panels and listening to people stories and giving giving advice, I'm starting to change my mind about a lot of stuff.
Like what?
As far as like what is actually Black Lives Matter, like what is the whole purpose?
Like I
We
said, man.
pe-
Yeah.
people went out here. People went out here. They went out here and protest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they said Black Lives Matter, right? But why is it? Why is it that our race is still killing each other if Black lives supposedly matter?
Because the thing about it is that what I've said many times on different panel shows or videos I did, a lot of it is actually seeking white validation.
Okay.
A lot of the times, the narrative is usually put like what? Because usually, what do we find? A black child or black man,
Yeah.
black boy killed by a white cop. Um, we need better treatment. We need better treatment. Stuff like that. And usually, what you get is you get a big hatred or a fu if you see a white person on the street, and it's just like it starts to become these like racial talks, and I'm sitting back like, dude, like I'm not offended by white people.
Okay.
I'm not. I don't live my life trying to be like, oh my God, like white people. You know what I'm saying? But I do
Mm-hmm.
understand that there is racial prejudice in this country, without a shadow of a doubt. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
a lot of people I had convo with, they don't try to understand where I'm coming from when I say that. I say, look, listen,
Okay.
what's happening in this country right now is what we call white preferation. You know what I'm saying? Where white people get pref- preferences over so-called black people, right? That's the stuff that happens. But at the same time, the victim mentality got to go out the window. That's why I
Yeah.
say that doesn't go on in my world. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't
Right.
happen. My thing is like you do for self, you do for you, and then people that's rolling around you that has the same type of mindset, you build with them. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? If we establish, especially if you like a young soul, you know what I mean? Your whole entire thing should be about building or making sure you're economically free. Where I get my information from is not race based, but I would more lean so on a brother that got the knowledge before I lean on a so-called white man. Why is that? Because I would prefer to hear from a brother to see how he got on because it's more relatable because of the cultures and because of what race we are. But that doesn't mean that I'm being racist. It just means that I have a preference for hearing it from him first.
Right. I appreciate you for breaking that down man, like that. Um, to have a better understanding of um the movement, because everything you said tonight is basically on point. Like you gave information of how like Black Lives Matter got started and everything. So, and a lot of people that's listening probably didn't even know that information.
Yeah,
So,
man. Like,
it was the reason for you to come on the panel tonight. I guess gotta put that out there.
thanks, man.
No
It's just
problem.
like it's just that my thing about it is so many people are so quick to run down because I think because it's like when it says it's related to black people, like oh my god, like a black man speaking against a black corporation, what's wrong with you? But I said, but what they doing is messed up though. So
Right.
for me to come in and jump in and have this convo, like it's like, bro, I've been on the same type of tip for a while. Before I was on that, yeah, Black Lives Matter, cool, cool, cool. But why is it always this sacrifice type of rhetoric when a so-called black boy dies or a so-called black man? If we talk about Black Lives Matter, we should be talking about Black Lives Matter on a spiritual, physical, economic, and all those different points. But they only
Exactly.
focus on the killings. And that's the problem I have. A lot of people don't even realize that when it comes to these children nowadays, they out wanting to delete themselves, commit suicide. And what has been reported is that so-called black men has the highest number of suicides in this country. And what's crazy about that? It's not really touched on a lot. We talk about mental health, but men out here not feeling like they worthy to the world. Screw a Black Lives Matter right now. What's a Black Health Matters right now? You
Yeah.
feel what I'm saying? And the thing about it is they're gonna keep making it about everything else. And that's the problem out here. You know what I'm saying? And that's why
Yeah.
I said, yo, I'm tired of that. You know what I mean? And then once I started going in on that, everybody was like, oh, it's cool and all this other stuff. I said, you just don't have no understanding. That's why you just want to call me a coon so much. You need to understand exactly what's going on in this damn world. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's that's why it's so important to do research.
Yeah. Do research instead of getting mad at Kanye for wearing a White Lives Matter shirt. Like, do the
Right.
research.
I mean, find out the whole reason why he did it before coming to conclusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Hey, Big
game you gotta
Rooster.
figure out.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. We got some great comments. Hold on. If all we do get, if we do get a dime, one of our one of our kind is gonna come and take it from us because they know how to get it on their own. That's so true. Yeah. They will send somebody in and they will, hey, Phantom's live chess, hey, Tampa Supreme, and Phantom Live's chat said, wow, hold on. Anyone who needs to be told that Black Lives Matter is never going to care. And the people who they matter don't need to be told. That is so true. hmm I'm going to leave because my phone was ringing. I got to leave and come back. Y'all keep talking because now I can't hear.
Yeah, you
Okay.
straight. Yeah.
Yeah, but you make some good points, man. I definitely agree with you.
Yeah. Uh, it's, it's just so much going on in this world right now, man. Like mobilization is important, but then it's just like, we're in the brink of World War III. All this other stuff, man. Like, solution should be like, how the hell are we going to live off grid? How we going to be able to survive off of some random food and all that other stuff? Because there's some
Right. I
crazy
mean,
stuff going on, man.
it's like it's so much stuff going on. Like you're right. Like how we don't survive all of this?
You know what I mean? And the only thing that is really crazy, Biden decided to go ahead and let off people who was strung up on marijuana charges. And I said, why it took him so long to do that? Why? Because it's midterms.
He wants to vote.
You want to vote, say, and that's like this is what I'm talking about. I said this is a problem. I said if you wasn't rocking with Biden before and you knew he was a racist and he had something to do with the marijuana sting off that happened in the '90s, especially with the crime bill, then why would you sit up there and care about what he's saying now?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like all these, like what you're starting to notice in these midterms elections is it's always going to be the same thing: pandering to so-called black people and find out a way how we can be more relatable. But
Right.
this is where they messed up that though, because what they did the other day that was disrespectful. The
I,
no voting, no VUCKING. That little video with Saucy Santana and Trina, that was disrespectful, man.
that was absolutely disrespectful.
That was disrespectful. And the thing about it is, they're trying to play on the black man like all we care about is having sex and having sex in charge of voting. Like, like what are we doing? Like, yo, what? That was like that's what we known for. Like last time y'all did that with them strippers out from Georgia. And I'm just like, bro, like that's not gonna entice me to want to vote. That's gonna make me feel like you desperately want to try to connect with me on a level like you really think that that's gonna help you out. Like it's not.
Yeah. It's like it's crazy, man. Like you say, we on the verge of World War III.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
for
man,
real.
is America even ready to deal with that situation?
Well, thing about it is that they're warning Putin to chill out, especially because America's playing ally to Ukraine. And then there's all these different things about NATO and then all this other stuff. But yeah, they I don't know. They could. I mean, America spends a lot of money on military, so I mean, I would expect they would.
Yeah, they they uh they do save a lot of money on the military.
You know.
They
So
really they
Hello, everyone. I want to welcome Big Rooster to the panel.
peace.
they,
Thank you. So I got just a couple of questions for the young man that's speaking. Man, you make good, valid points, but I want to ask you a question, man. What do you think it starts? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hear people down in Biden, but praising Trump. Trump didn't do much for us either. Nobody, everybody's saying that Trump did all this good stuff for black people. He didn't do much for black people. Black people are still in the same boat that they're in. They were in under Trump, and they were in under Obama. They were in under Clinton's, under the under Bush, everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you is, and I really respect your point of views. I'm not trying to be argumentative with you or nothing, but where does it start? Because you got to remember the parenting isn't what it used to be.
It's not.
You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, it starts in the home. And of course society is going to make us look 10 times worse than what we are, but before society makes us look worse than what we are, we're making ourselves look worse than what we are.
Right. So your question to me is like, where does it start? As terms
Yeah,
as like,
as far as us learning to, get fend for ourselves, respect ourselves, you know, to make a better donation to life. I'm gonna call it a better point of view in life, a better wealth system for our children, our grandchildren. Just those are all my questions to you.
uh, I real quick, it might have been my drink might have froze. So if I didn't answer one of your questions, just forgive me for that.
Oh,
So
no
I
problem.
mean, my thing is this: we're living in a society now where everything is just loose ended and just like all over the place. How I feel about it is, like I said, you build with those that have the same mindset and you go off of that. Like that's the only thing you can do because this generation, millennial, I'm a millennial, so millennial Gen Z, they're learning what happened from Gen X and Boomers, right? And the thing about it is that whatever the divide was that came from like the 1960s that rolled over into the 1970s, rolled over into the 1980s, 1990s, and then it's like 2000s, and then kids is just kind of trying to fend for themselves. All these different programs and all these different things that happen is only going to take like a few who knows the game and understands how to go against it, because most are sheep. So most are not going to pay attention to what you're saying. They're going to go with the propaganda. Too many times that if you have one person that's going to go ahead and spread the propaganda about negativity, they're usually going to follow it before they follow the stuff on the game on how to move. And anybody is right now, you got selective people out there right now that got real estate, right now that is honestly trying to make that real estate for our people. Think people want to pay attention to that? Nah, people want to pay attention to Fox Soul and nonsense they spread on Fox Soul with Umar Johnson versus Cynthia G, who is a proud eugenicist. You understand? So at the end of the day, what I say is you gotta just build with those who have the same mindset. Come together like that, man. And if they can be on the same picture with you, that's how it go. Because that's the only way it's really gonna work at this point. You have the adults, and then you have the I can't even say adults to kids. So we're living in a society, like I said, is loose ended, and you can only go with those that know. And it might be a few. It's not going to be. Not everybody can go on this trip with us. Basically, that's all I'm trying to allude to. Not all of us can. There's going to be those who know the knowledge and those who understand.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I feel you on that. So the breakdown. When you say when it started breaking down, I don't know when it exactly started breaking down. I'm a baby of the '60s, late '60s, so I was brought up in the '70s and the
Mm-hmm.
'80s. And the '80s is, I think was our worst. '80s and early '90s was our worst. But right now, we seem to have tried to get better at one point or another. But right now, it's it's all about division. And the crazy thing about it is, I hear a lot of people blame politics, but we can't just blame politics, because a politician is only a politic, and he's only going to go for what you know. So I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, Biden and them is trying to get the votes." But what do you have to say about Republicans that are trying to redistrict the votes so that we can't give Democrats votes? What do you say about that?
Republicans and Democrats are part of the same coin. You
They're,
flip a
they,
head,
they're, yeah, well, yeah, I've heard that before.
tails. They're part of the same
They're the
coin.
same coin,
But
but just different sides. Yes,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's all an elaborate scheme. With Republicans, you said Republicans redistributing the votes,
redistricting.
redistricting.
Yes,
Where was that from?
everywhere. You don't see it on the news. You don't see it. You don't see it at the polls. You don't see the people talking about it. They're pointing it out to you every day.
What redid? I mean, I've known. I'm aware of it. I'm
Yes,
aware. I am aware of it. I might maybe
yes.
have light knowledge, but I'm very aware of it. I mean,
Okay.
listen, in that sense, politicians play a dirty game. So I'm looking at it as like it could be Republicans, it could be Democrats, but at the same time, it's all. This is the thing I think is going on. It's a lot of just random stuff going on where Republicans is trying to hold that seat or try to get more in the seat. Democrats is like, nah, we need to take over or this, that, and the third. It's just a lot. So there's a lot of schemes that they're trying to pull against each other, but at the same time, fool the public at the same time.
Well, I think so. Let me correct you on that. Not correct you, but let me elaborate on that.
Mm-hmm.
So Republicans, Democrats are trying to fool you. Republicans are lying to you and thinking that you're gonna be fooled by lying by what they say. They are fear mongers.
Yeah.
We know that. So with that being said, their game is to make you think, oh, people are coming for this and people are coming for that. And people just want to live. You know what I'm saying? Now Democrats, on the other hand, they want to they gonna lie to you, but they gonna lie to you subtly. They gonna pat you on the back while they lying to you. The Republicans are gonna laugh at you while they're lying to you. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference between the two. They're both liars. We all know that. But my question is, who's the lesser of the two evils? I don't think there is a lesser of the two, but a lot of people do say that there's a lesser of the two evils.
It isn't. Both of them. That's why I said earlier, I'm an apolitical. I don't believe none of them. I think a lot of them talk a good game, but at the same time, I realize there's no point. I've been lied to my whole life and thinking that I should be Democrat because I was raised in a so-called black community, still there, and I've been taught to believe Republicans is this and Republicans is that. Both of them are full of crap. You guys just have to really say that. I'm apolitical. So the thing about it is, lesser two evils of what? Lesser two evils of what you believe and what's being perceived by the media for you to think. It's just the same thing that happened in 2020. Oh, you
Right.
know, lesser two
We all
evils.
we all know that both parties tell lies. They just do it in different ways.
Well,
Yeah, they
well,
do
not,
it in different ways, but lesser
well,
two evils in what sense? Like,
well. Let's not leave out the independents as well.
but if we're really talking about a majority of the votes, we're usually paying attention to Republicans and Democrats. I get it
Well,
with independents, but they don't get as much shine as Republicans and Democrats. Though.
oh, they get a lot of shine. They get a lot of shine, but it's just not that many of them. But they get a lot of shine, and they're making a move. And if you notice, there's a lot of so-called Democrats and Republicans that are thinking about going independent because that way they can pull off their agenda and then go back to their normal party. I don't know if you pay attention to that, how a few of them will cross over. And when they cross over, that means they were who they were before they crossed over. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you feel like that if it's with the independent party, I was I was thinking in my head it's like being used as a buffer zone to kind of just come in.
Kind of, sort of, kind of, sort of, but you look at some big name Democrats and some big name Republicans. If they were to leave and go independent, they would take a lot of people with them, which would lead to what you're just saying, like a buffer zone. But then they can also sway a lot of people, and if that happens, then once they get that agenda across, then they can go back to who they really were, Republican or Democrat.
Yeah.
Now, I want to chime in on something, Big Rooster, when you were saying about Trump. It's not that I love Trump. Trump didn't pass no laws to hurt black people nor help them. And so that's why I like Trump. He didn't pass no laws to hurt us, but he didn't help us either. All the rest of these presidents didn't
Oh,
pass
oh,
laws.
oh,
Look at Biden. I don't give a damn about marijuana. You destroyed so many people in the 90s with crack when crack first came out, sending them to prison. So that's why I can lean toward Trump.
oh, okay, that's valid. That's valid. I agree with you that Biden and the Clintons and all of them, they did us an injustice. But we also have to start with blaming ourselves. And the thing about Trump though, Trump wasn't for nobody but Trump. Trump was about he used the White House as a pawn to make money to make himself make money. You see what I'm saying? Trump, if you look at it, Trump was all about making money, and that's why he made that bid for the White House. And what he did was he charged the federal government every time he and the Secret Service and other people had to go somewhere. They used his facilities just to and we paid for it.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? We
Mar-a-Lago, all that.
yeah, we paid for that. And we're still paying for it. Now he's using people with this American Defense Fund Act to pay for other things other than the American Defense Fund Act. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, Trump didn't pass laws to hurt black people, but he also didn't pass laws to help us.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So basically, it was a money thing for him, and now he's trying to use it so that he can get out of trouble. You see what I'm saying? He's trying to use this next 4 years if he can get in there
If you
to,
can.
to pass to get past the statutes of limitations. And so I'm not saying this guy is the worst, but I hear a lot of black people say, "Oh, Trump was good for us," but then when I ask them, are you better off now than you were before him? I know I wasn't better off. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see a difference. I actually did better under the Clintons, which we all know was crooked and dirty, than I've done under any other president. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we know what they were about.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we did better in the Clintons. They had a surplus in the 90s.
Well,
Just,
under most Democrats, we do have a surplus, except for Joe Biden.
yeah, Biden is the opposite.
So, and people hear me talk about this and say, "Oh man, you're a Biden fan." I'm not a Biden fan because I don't think he's doing a great job. But we also have to look at what's going on. Like, everybody wants to blame Biden for the gas prices, but the thing that's wrong with this country is it's corporate greed that is killing this country.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the end of when it comes time to report taxes, the government don't say, "Oh, we made record profits in the billions." It's the corporations that report those earnings. The oil refineries, the WalMarts, the Targets, the Googles, the Apples, and all of that stuff. They're the ones that report record profits in the billions. Yeah, some presidents do have stock in some of those companies, but they don't make that decision. It's corporate greed that's killing this country.
Do you have any alternative for unity? Do you think that we will ever be unified, Big Rooster?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
Black
you.
people.
You kind of going in and out a little bit.
I actually gotta drive
I
down here.
said,
Peace.
No,
do you
stay
feel
up,
like
young.
black people would ever come together?
You know, I pray that we do because at one time we were the strongest race in America. At some the crack epidemic really killed all that unity. You know, not saying it wasn't, you know, the division wasn't there before the crack epidemic, but when the crack epidemic came along, that divided, you know, everything, everybody. I seen guys that when I was a kid, you know, I seen guys that played on the same football teams and little league teams and went out to banquets and birthday parties and, you know, end up killing each other, one another. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that, you know, we could come back together as a race and learn. We have to learn how to love again. And it's sad that we don't know that. Well, we know it, but we don't want to do anything about it. You know, it's and it's not just blacks I'm talking about. It's Hispanics, it's whites, and everything. You know, this has turned into a me world. You know what I'm saying?
So do you feel like the crack academic affected a lot of people?
Pardon?
Do you feel like the crack academic affected a lot of people back in the 90s?
Yes, I think it did, and you have to realize, but you look at it, you look at the crack epidemic back then, and you look at the opioid epidemic now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's not just so now it's crazy because the Caucasian community is being hit super hard by this opioid epidemic, and they're seeing what we went through. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Right.
So uh, I think the crack epidemic did destroy a lot of families and friends. You know what I'm saying? And because you got to remember, everybody wanted to be that kingpin. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted
Right.
to
Right.
be, you know, and they, you know, the ones that couldn't became takers. You know what I'm saying? The ones
Yeah.
that, or they became, you know, users. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it turned a lot of us either into, you know, users or killers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It was one or the other. You know, we had to be. It was either you were a giver or a taker. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I think that just amplified, you know, that portion of it.
Yeah. That's a good point. Considering people that came back home from the military back then,
Yes, yes,
like a lot of veterans, like we said, it's like you either take it or leave it.
yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. I agree with you. And the thing about it is, see, they 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 really came down hard on us because you got to remember, you know, the crack epidemic has started getting into the white neighborhoods as well.
Okay.
So basically, they didn't care if we killed one another. You know what I'm saying? But once it starts getting into their communities, you know what I'm saying? Now they're stealing from parents and, you know, draining bank accounts and, you know, doing whatever it is to get high. You know, like they are doing now. This is the
Right.
problem with it now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we got to do something about it. And that's why I think that terrible law that because if you remember the white guys that got caught with the same amount of whatever we had
Uh
got
huh.
what 90% less time than we got. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that law, I agree with everybody. That law was terrible. You know what I'm saying? And I do think they try to pacify us with these old, you know, about the weed. But listen, I don't smoke weed, but I'm an advocate for making weed marijuana legal. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because I don't think marijuana is, you know, going to kill anyone, and I don't think anybody's going out to kill over it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong on that because, you know, there's some people I guess that made a lot of money off marijuana and people, you know. But anyway, I don't. I am an advocate for legalizing it, and
Okay.
yeah, I think they have picked a bad time to you know go ahead and do it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Being that it is the midterms, uh, you know, and bring it to the forefront. But you know, I think Kamala Harris touched on it before they ran for president, you know, and vice president. But yeah,
Okay.
I think this is an opportune time for them to try to make things legal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Um, like you said, I mean, I don't smoke myself, but I mean, I approve of making it legal.
Yes.
Um, I think it help, especially with people, different people, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, um, but I think it helps with people who deal with different illness.
Yes. Yes.
So I get as far as that part, yeah, I definitely approve it.
Yes. I agree with you on that. I'm 100 in cahoots with you on that. And my thing is, even the government knows this because they do, even though it's still illegal in the federal government eyes,
Hmm.
it, they use marijuana for medical reasons.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that though, but they do have places that they issue marijuana for medical reasons,
Okay.
and you know it's just crazy because but here's the downside to it. Well, at least in California,
Okay.
I live in California, so the downside is that the Californians are so money hungry that the average marijuana dispensary owner really can't make a living off of it because he's giving all his money to taxes. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's the bad part about like Colorado. They got it right. Colorado did it right because you know they were the first to legalize it, and they
Right.
did it right. And California seemed that because you know it was on the ballot way before Colorado, but people kept shooting it down.
Okay.
And then once California seen that Colorado was doing it right and they were making money off of it and everybody's winning, and they said, okay, we need to do that. But then California, you got to know, such a greedy state that you know they were like, okay, we're gonna let you do it, but you got to do this, you got to do that, and then the taxes on it is so high that I remember when they first passed it, I was like, well, the local weed man is really gonna be out of business, right?
Hmm.
But at the same time, California is so greedy. We've only made the local weed man more money. You know what I'm saying? Because now people don't want to go to spend $15 on whatever it is, and then come out of there and with the taxes and everything, you spend $35. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm glad you explained it like that because that leads to my next question. Like, um, when I first heard about um legal marijuana,
Mm-hmm.
with me being in Chicago, Illinois, my first question was, okay, is this gonna take away money from the guys that's on the street that's selling marijuana?
So
Like that was
yeah,
my first initial question when I first heard about it.
right, and I was thinking, okay, well, if these dudes are going to be able to do this in the stores, right, or
Uh-huh.
you know, then yeah, that's going to put the weed man out of business. But I think basically what it did was it just made it safer for people who are scared to go to the weed man on the streets to go to
Okay.
a dispensary and buy. You know what I'm saying? They don't mind spending more money at the dispensary, you know, because they're safer when they go and leave. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As opposed to pulling up to the weed man on the corner and possibly getting killed for $20. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
So
I'm sorry, not to be cutting you off. Once it became legal in California, were there certain laws and restrictions that they had to follow?
so so once it became so it was legal for medical purposes for a while. but now
Okay.
it's recreational as well. So at first, when it was first legal, you had to have a medical marijuana card issued to you by a doctor. But now anybody can go in and buy, and the it's just basically like I said, the taxes is killing most most weed dispensaries. The taxes are super high on their products. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay. So do people have to renew those medical marijuana cards?
Not anymore because it's all recreational now. You can just walk in like you and I can just walk in right now and just buy it without a card. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's how it is in Colorado. You know, once they like I say, once they seen Colorado did it, they were like, oh, we need to, and then California, finally put it back on the ballot and it
Okay.
passed. You know what I'm saying? So when it passed, that was California's way of saying, okay, we're gonna, make this happen, and
Okay.
we're gonna benefit off the taxes. Well, the taxes are so high that the dispensaries just can't, you know what I'm saying, can't make a can't they can't turn a profit,
Right.
you know.
Wow. Even
And
like I said, even though I don't smoke, I just learned something new.
yeah, and the crazy part about it is like say even though you don't smoke, say you wanted to open up a dispensary, right?
Uh
Your initial payment is going to be like over $1 million
huh.
to just get it started. You see what I'm saying? Now you got to
Right.
remember because I was thinking once they did legalize it, you'll be able to go into a liquor store or something and just buy you a bag of weed or whatever. That's what I was
Right.
thinking. But
Right.
they still have dispensaries because they want them in certain zones. They don't want them near schools or you know
Okay.
right
Okay.
next to like the downtown. So I mean they're centrally located. They're close, but they have them in certain areas. That where there's not a load of foot traffic. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So they try to keep them away. So now you remember now you got to put that $1 million down. You got to do this. You got to do that. Then you got to get. You got to buy your product.
Okay.
You got to have a building now. Then you got to have security. Then you got to have your employees. Man, it's a lot of work. So that's why I say the weed man on the streets is still winning because he ain't got no overhead. you
Right.
know. So
Right. You don't have to report to anybody.
right, exactly, exactly. And so like the growers, like say you're a grower.
Uh
The
huh.
grower actually has to report to the government how many plants he has, this and that. If he has one over or 10 over, or I mean to the state, if he has one over, 10 over, or whatever, he gets fined for it. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So say a leaf fall off and another plant starts growing, and they come and check it out, and you got another whole another plant growing that you didn't report. Now you're getting a fine.
Wow.
So it's a lot of laws and things, that come along with that. So that's why I say all politicians are they're they're they're,
Yeah.
they're
So
terrible.
didn't yeah. So didn't Mike Tyson get involved with that with legal cannabis
Exactly,
or something?
exactly. So he has a legal operation, and he actually stumbled upon it. From what I understand, I think I watched a story where he said a guy was telling him that he wanted to invest in it, but he wasn't sure about it, right?
Okay.
And he told Mike how much they wanted him to, put in to help start this grow operation. And man, Mike Tyson was like, "Hey, turn me on to turn me on to that dude." You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
they actually have the indoor grow houses are, they work because you can do it all year round. The
Okay.
outdoor grow houses grow fields are a little more harder, and then you got guys that'll come in and you because it's like having a farm. It's not a little. backyard operation. You got acres and acres of marijuana growing, and then you got to watch for guys that's coming into your town, and
Right.
it's interesting. You watch. There's a Discovery had a program called Weed Country, and
Okay.
it kind of teaches you the things about some of these things. And it was interesting to watch. Some dudes will pop up and talk to farmers, and farmers be like, really get weary about, hey, how did you find out about this place, and things like that. And then they got
Okay.
guys get busted, and they show up, and they like, wait a minute, man, you got busted, but you showing up back here, you trying to set me up. So they get real weary about things.
Yeah.
But I think it only lasted 1 or 2 seasons. It
Okay.
didn't, but it's interesting, man. It's this whole little, like I say, the politics are using this to actually, like you say, get votes, to get votes out.
Yeah.
But I'm an advocate for it, because I don't think, I just wish that the state would regulate it more decent, so that the owners can make profits. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you might see an owner, a store owner, he may still be, he's selling buku weed, but he might still be driving an old Honda Civic. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, like you said, you would never know. Like you would
Right,
never know how much money this individual is making.
right, right. So yeah. So well,
And,
yeah, man. I want to thank y'all for letting me come up. April, I didn't want to take over the show, but I really appreciate it. I thought I was just listening, and I know you guys had some really good subjects. And the young man that was I wish he would have stayed up, because I enjoyed his insight on things. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, I definitely.
he's definitely wise beyond his years. I don't know exactly how old he was, but he
Right.
raised some good, valid points. But one thing I would say is, it's going to be hard for us to find people that are going to think alike these days, because everybody's taught. You see it at home, you see it on television, you see it when you hang out with your friends, that everyone is all about themselves, really.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like you said, I don't know the age of the young man, but he was very insightful and
Yes,
gave good
yes, yes,
gave some good information and feedback. So
yes,
I want
yes,
I want
yes,
to I want to thank April and everybody that's listening um, in the chat. They even gave good feedback as well.
yes. I was, and like I said, I seen it, and I was like, let me check out what they're talking about. And I came up. That's why I came up, and I'm glad. Thank you, April, for accepting me and having me on your panel. Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah, it was really insightful, and I love hearing these type of stories, because this is pushing positivity. You know what I'm saying?
right,
It's not here to call somebody out or down someone.
right.
It's healthy conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just by being on the panel tonight, I mean, I learned a lot of stuff I didn't even know about.
Right, right.
Like how you get to explain the legal cannabis whole
Yeah,
situation. Like I
yeah.
didn't even know that some of the things that you said I didn't even know.
Right. And I
Yeah.
didn't know it either until I talked to some dudes that was, trying to get into the business. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And they was like, man, they want $1.5 million. I ain't got that kind of money.
Right.
But they did their research. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I had a coworker of mine that I used to work with back in 15 when they first
Okay.
was really pushing. Well, we were back in 12 or 13 when they was really pushing to make it legal. He was like, man, I really want to get into that field. But then he found out what it would cost, and he was like, oh man, I
Right.
may, I may bring in some partners on that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, like I said, man, I mean I appreciate your insight of explaining how that works.
yeah. So yeah, man. So hey, listen, I'm gonna back down and tap out, and I just want to, hey, I appreciate you conversating with me,
Oh,
Miss
no
April.
problem.
I don't know if Miss April's still there, but I
I'm
appreciate you
right.
letting
I'm
me
not
come.
sure if she's still there either. I hope she is.
Yeah.
April, are you still there? I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I think she
She actually may be on a phone call.
yeah, she may be on the phone. So yeah, I'll stick around with you if you want to until she come back. But yeah, man, it's you know, it's you know, life is a puzzle, man. We just gotta find our pieces and put them in place and try to walk. You know, it's hard to walk that fine line, but we have to, you know, as older gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? It's we have to. I heard you say you 1 week shy of 49.
Yeah, I'll be 49 next month.
Oh, net 1 month shy. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you know, so I kind of understand. We kind of from the same area. I just made 53. So
Okay.
yeah, it's you know, it's hard to watch. You know, our community. You know, it was hard to watch when the crack epidemic, but it's really hard
Yeah.
to
That,
watch. You know how it happens now. You know what I'm
that,
saying?
I mean, I was born in the 70s, but um, I saw how it affected a
Yes,
lot of
yes,
a lot of communities in the 80s and 90s.
yes. Because you were in the teens, so you weren't you weren't just some random little kid that want to go outside and play. You
Right.
saw this firsthand. We all saw this firsthand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, April says she's still here.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I saw people passing out in the streets.
Right, 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 right,
Yeah.
right. You know, hey man, and the crazy thing about it is, like I said, I was brought up in the '70s, man. I saw some real cool cats, man, sharp cats,
Okay.
right? That just go, I mean, all downhill with the crack
Yeah.
epidemic, you know.
Yeah. And back then, like you had um you had the older guys um that kept they if they knew you was a good person and you came from a good family,
Right.
they they kept you away from that type of stuff.
Yes. 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 Yeah. They did. They did. And that's because they had love instilled in them, even though they were doing what they were doing, but they still had
Right.
enough love and respect to say, hey, man, this ain't for you. You know what I'm saying?
Man, exactly. And I think nowadays that's what a lot of communities have gotten away from.
Yeah. You know what? You totally right. You're totally right. You're totally right.
Yeah. Not to say that there isn't people that would tell you, hey, don't do that, don't do this. It's just
Mhm.
that we don't see it nowadays as much as we did back then.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. And then I tell people, like, I have two children. They're both in their 30s, and they have children, and I have to tell them, hey man, you can't be your kids' friend. You got to be their parents first.
Right.
And when it's time to become their friends, then that you turn it on, but you don't leave it on. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you got to
Like,
understand, you got to teach them right and wrong, because they're looking at you.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And what they see you do, they'll try and do. So
Yeah. Like,
if you out there doing stupid stuff, best believe your child is gonna try and do that same stupid stuff.
yeah. Like I have a lot of nephews,
Hmm.
and I tell them all the time, like, don't be talking about you friends just because you want to do what they're doing.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Um, Make them get to know you as a
Yeah.
person of who you are.
Exactly. 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 You want them to know who you are.
Right. And then if we don't agree with what they're doing, then you separate yourself from that circle.
That's all you got to do. It's simple as that. It's simple as that.
I tell them
You
all the
know.
time. Once you separate yourself, okay, they're gonna talk about you, but I guarantee you 5 or 6 years later they don't come back to you and be like, man, I remember when we had this I
Right.
remember when we had this conversation and you told me don't do that.
Hey, you telling him exactly what's gonna happen. You tell them exactly what's gonna happen. And
Yeah.
that's what they do. Man, I should have listened.
And I could have
You know.
listened, but it's too late now.
Yeah, Yeah, too late.
Yeah.
Already
So that
took that exit.
right, and that's why we got to have these conversations for the next generation to know, for they'll be prepared for what's coming. That's what's coming back.
Yeah, right. I agree with you. Man.
Yeah.
It's we just you know at some point I used to say, man, I really give up on these kids, but the more I
Hmm.
look at them, the more I say I gotta, I can't give up on them. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and sometimes as older people, we have to sit back
Right,
and
right, definitely.
listen and observe what they're talking about. Because they may be right.
Right, right, right,
They may be actually right about the situation. We
right.
just don't.
We
We might
yeah,
not see it at that time frame, but as we
yes,
sit
sir.
back and be like, you know what, he or she was right.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely right. It's a shame that we can't go through life with our eyes shut. We have to open. I'm gonna give you a really good analogy I got just recently. I have a cousin that's a bishop. Didn't
Okay.
know he didn't know he was a bishop. We live about 60 miles apart. I found out about 15 years ago that he was a bishop,
Okay.
and his children are grown, and they were raised in the church. But the crazy part about it was they still have that attitude that most youngsters got. We don't believe it unless we can see it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I was wowed by that when they said that because they're both brought up in the church and they both still think, hey, we don't believe it unless we see it. And I'm like, well, your parents and I or whatever, you see it through us because we've lived it already. You see
Okay.
what I'm saying? So when I try to tell them things like that, and so when I talk to kids, I say, hey man, things can be different for you, but right now you don't see it
Right.
because you got your eyes closed to it. But we do have like that young brother that was up here. He seemed like he got his head on straight, and he seems like he's headed in the right direction. And I'm
That's
hoping he
nice.
keeps that. I'm hoping he keeps on that path. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know who his parents is, but I hope he stay on the right track.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Without a doubt. Without a
Yeah.
doubt. Without a
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, I like that young guy too. I felt like he was pretty wise too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
That
yeah, he
Yes.
was.
up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely
He
was.
was sharp this April.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that's why I wanted him to know that I wasn't coming on here to challenge what he was saying. I just wanted some insight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I want, I wanted to give him a little bit of knowledge as well. And he gave me a little bit of knowledge as well.
I th-
You
yeah,
know?
I think he understood. I think he
Yeah,
understood
he
that.
did. Yeah, he definitely understood it. He definitely
Yeah.
understood it. So
Mhm.
with that being said, Miss April, I appreciate you. I'm gonna get my butt in the bed. I gotta do a break job for my
I
daughter
appreciate
tomorrow.
you too.
Me too.
Thank you
Uh,
for having
um,
me. Good conversation with you, brother.
always, my brother. Thanks for the information that you explained to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and this was another planned show. I mean, unplanned show. Just come on, cause if
Hey,
I plan it, it's something about if I plan the show,
well,
it's
Yeah.
something always happens. But when
Miss
I
April.
just come on,
Well, you
and
keep
this
just
was a
coming on,
great
Miss April.
conversation. We've been on close to 4 hours.
Yeah, yeah, you keep popping up,
Oh,
Miss April, and I keep trying to pop up too.
And I hope
okay.
I hope we
All
can get
right.
on the I hope we can get
DJ
you on the
Chuck, I
panel
thank
again.
you, Karen. My favorite Kanye West song was Jesus Walk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm definitely down, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Miss April, I'm always down. Thank you.
Okay. Hey, always Ken. All right, everybody. I thank y'all for joining us tonight.
You're
Thank you.
welcome, April. Anytime.
Okay. Uh,
I guess